Wintrust Arena, everybody. So happy to have you here for Sky Basketball on the Score. Tonight, it's your Chicago Sky hosting the Atlanta Dream, currently sitting in third place in the WNBA standings. Hello, everybody. Alongside the great Layla Rahimi, I'm Kyla Mills. Thrilled to be here again on the call with you all as we get ready for some WNBA action here in early August. The Chicago Sky coming off a big win over the Washington Mystics, snapping an 8-game losing streak. The Atlanta Dream, meanwhile, have won 4 straight and 5 of their last 6 games, including a road victory over the league-leading Minnesota Lynx. And we're getting ready to listen in to the starting lineups for the visitors. Here is the Atlanta Dream starting 5.
At forward, number 0, Naz Hillman. At forward, number 15, Alicia Gray. And at center, number 24, Brianna Jones. The head coach of the Dream is Carl Spesko.
There you have it, the Atlanta Dream starting 5. At the top of that 5, not sure if you caught that, but Tahina Paopao, the rookie guard, earning her 6th start of the season. And we're getting set for the starting lineup for your Chicago Sky, a group that's been snake-bitten by injury. They've overcome quite a bit of adversity throughout the course of the season, but starting to get healthier. Ariel Atkins expected to play her 2nd straight game after dealing with a number of injuries, or being out rather with injuries since July 14th. So great to get her back. Head coach Tyler Marsh has talked about how huge her presence has been in boosting the confidence in this locker room. Anything else you're watching for in particular, Layla, as we get ready and await the starting 5?
Oh, absolutely. Glad to see Ariel Atkins back, and I know the team was as well, but she's also glad to see the presence of the newly added Sky guard, Sevgi Uzun, who is from Turkey. And she said after their win that they last had over the Mystics that she appreciated that Uzun has a true point guard mentality. She's a floor setter, an organizer, and that makes the offense move a little better. And Ariel Atkins said, ever since Sloot went down, Courtney Vandersloot, she goes, people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. She was a big part of this team, and she complimented Uzun for her ability to set the floor, and I think in a way that echoes the style of Courtney Vandersloot.
For folks who are new to following the Sky, a refresher, veteran point guard Courtney Vandersloot, a 5-time WNBA All-Star, went down with a season-ending ACL tear during their game against the Indiana Fever. The Sky's game against the Indiana Fever back on June 7th. Getting ready for the starting lineups here at Wintrust Arena. Let's listen in.
And from Minnesota, number 24, Rachel Banner. A 5'10" guard from Texas, number 7, Ariel Atkins. And forward, 6'3" from Duke, number 1, Elizabeth Williams. A 6-foot forward from UCLA, number 12, Michaela Onyenwere. And your center, 6'7", from South Carolina, number 10, Camila Cardoso. The Sky are led by head coach Tyler Marsh.
Tip-off just a couple moments away. In addition to those players starting, one thing to note is that Angel Reese is unavailable for tonight's game, missing for 4th straight, dealing with a back injury, so a major absence in the front court for the Sky. In addition to having Uzun now available and able to help run this offense since joining the team just 1 week ago. I know you're really excited about the play of Elizabeth Williams recently. Led the Sky in their win over the Mystics with 18 points, 10 boards as well, in her 2nd straight double-double. What has stood out to you about E-Will's play, as she's called, as of late, Layla?
Well, I think, Kylan, it's a cliche, but it's so the truth that when people go down, other people have to step up. And Elizabeth Williams' versatility and what she's able to do, whether it's in a starting role or off the bench, has really been a testament to how she's able to fit in. And there was no better example than in the win over the Mystics. 18 points, 7 of 11 shooting, 10 rebounds. 8 of those were defensive to go along with 2 assists. Here's the key, too, as we get ready to start the game. She went 4 for 4 in that first quarter against the Mystics. So a big reason why the Sky were able to not only get out to a big lead early, but then help sustain it into the 3rd and the 4th quarters and ultimately win that game. But again, just being versatile and being able to serve the teams in the way that she has. Role players stepping up, new faces, and I think people like Ariel Atkins, you can tell how much she appreciates what they've been able to do to add in and help fill in the gaps.
Williams certainly has been a key piece in filling in some of those gaps. A player who's dealt with injury herself, missed a majority of 2024 with a torn meniscus, but is back in 2025 and appears to be better than ever. Extremely efficient performances as of late, as well as Layla just pointed out. 7 of 11 in that last game. Has shot 58% or more from the floor in the last 3 straight. So really putting together some good work in the front court, and she will earn another start here for your Chicago Sky in tonight's game, along with Michaela Onyenwere, who is also a player who's had to step up in certain moments, was coming in off the bench, has been starting here during this recent stretch, and has also scored in double figures in the last 2 games. Tip-off just moments away here. Bree Jones going up against E-Will. As we get you set for action here at Wintrust Arena, the officials on the call: Angelica Suffren, Charles Watson, Miniam Maru. Going to be making the calls today in this WNBA matchup on a Thursday night. Ball is in the air. E-Will gets there first. Taps it back to Atkins, who now is back in and running the offense for the Chicago Sky, returning from a lengthy leg injury. Kept her out for nearly a month. She feeds it inside. Onyenwere on the block. Tries it too strong. Alicia Gray, having an MVP type of season, reels in the rebound and gets it up for the Dream as they bring it up court. Jordan Canada with the ball now beyond the arc. 9 on the shot clock. Canada just inside from 2. Ball now down low. Here comes Jones, but she gets denied.
And just Camila Cardoso doing what she does, both hands up, nice awareness in the paint, and she's able to flip that possession for the Sky.
Atkins now on the other end, gets it off to Onyenwere. Onyenwere on the drive, gets inside the paint and gets it to rattle home. Went right at Alicia Gray.
I like the Sky also starting in the paint. That was a big reason they beat the Mystics. They outscored them in the paint, scoring over 50 points in that game. That's where this game is going to have to be had for the Sky to be competitive.
On the other end, Gray threw up a quick 3, a very quick trigger. First pass of that offensive possession. The ball went out of play, and it will stay down here for Atlanta basketball. The Dream have taken down the Sky in their first 3 meetings this season. 86-49, the score the last time they met back in July. Ball back in play for the Dream. Canada, 9 seconds on the shot clock. On the right side, just inside the arc. Her shot comes up short. E-Will with the board. Williams gets it up to Banham, now running the offense. Banham getting the ball on a DHO action. Banham for 3, knocks down the first triple of the game for the Sky.
We know that if Rachel Banham gets established early from 3, that's only going to help the Sky's scoring chances and winning chances as well. Papow tried on the defense, just too late on the closeout.
Banham, last time we were together, I think hit 26 points against the Fever, I believe it was, but there's a 3-point response for the Dream. 6. Onyenwere now with the ball. Gets it to Atkins. Atkins with a skip pass over to Banham. Banham with back-to-back 3s, this time on the right side beyond the arc. The Sky now with 8. Canada now on the other end, bringing it up, finds Hillman. Tahina Paopao, the rookie, getting the start. Coming around a screen, but there is a foul called. An offensive foul called on Naz Hillman for the Dream. That's going to be Sky basketball. 8-3 lead for the Sky here. 7:48 to go in the first quarter. Banham bringing the ball up this time. Gets it up to Camila Cardoso, who's waiting beyond the arc. Hands it off to Onyenwere. Onyenwere rises up from the free throw line. Comes up short. Sky get the board. Back to Onyenwere. Onyenwere feeds Williams inside. Williams on the block. Trying to back up Hillman, but gets denied. Here comes Paopao pushing pace. Paopao into the paint. Gets it back out beyond the arc. Nice little tic-tac-toe in terms of the passing. And it's Jones down low. Gets her own miss. Here comes Hillman on the drive. Kicks it out. Canada from beyond the arc. No. And Camila Cardoso brings in the board. Atkins on the dribble, left side, gets it back to Cardoso. Beautiful pick and roll action for the Sky. 10-3, the Sky with the early lead.
Nice to see the 2-woman game there too between Atkins and Cardoso. The timing was working. mutual movement. Cardoso reaches for it at the right time, and she's cutting to the bucket underneath. Perfect execution.
Cardoso's been on a heater as Alicia Gray tries a mid-range shot that's too strong. Atkins with the board, bringing the ball up the floor. Cardoso with double-doubles in the last 7 straight. As Atkins calls her own number, pulls up in the mid-range and knocks it down. The Sky making it look easy here in the early going, and there was a timeout called by Dream head coach Carl Smezko, not liking what he's seeing from his squad.
Not just that, but that's confidence that you see Ariel Atkins playing with. That was her first game back against the Mystics. We wanted to see what was going to happen in this one. Forces the team into a timeout after the made shot. That's how you start it off.
Step aside for a quick break here. This is Sky Basketball on the Score.
Marshall Harris here. We're talking Chicago sports on the Rahimi and Harris Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 on 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Women's sports are on the rise, and the Chicago Sky are leading the charge. Just like the Sky, the Village of Bedford Park is building a winning future as the official economic development partner of the Chicago Sky. With a prime location, access to a safe and reliable Lake Michigan water supply, and a pro-business mindset, Bedford Park is a smart move for growing companies. Ready to rise up? Visit villageofbedfordpark.com and discover why success starts here.
What if the fabric of our communities isn't even a fabric at all? The highways that crisscross our country, the bridges that span our waterways, the buildings that define our skylines, all thanks to steel. At Magellan, we source materials from world-class producers, powering industries from medicine to manufacturing. We know the true strength of steel is the people it powers.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today, 630-360-9000. That's 630-360-9000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
The Sky off to a fast start against the Dream. 12-3 the lead here midway through the first quarter. What has impressed you most about the team's start so far, Layla?
Well, not only the fact that they're already out to the same kind of aggressive start that we saw them take against the Mystics. And not just the fact that, like I said, Ariel Atkins, you can tell how much more comfortable she's feeling. I think the first game back from injury, you might be playing a little more tentatively because you want to trust your body. But to force the other team into the timeout like that, that is a rhythm you want to see. But additionally, how about Michaela Onyenwere already with 3 field goal attempts in this game, and she's varying her shot selection. I like that she's going straight to the paint. She's playing with that downhill kind of spirit. So you're seeing that already. Just try to get the lanes that they want and do more on the floor.
Onyenwere is one of those versatile forwards, too, who when she is outside the paint and has maybe a slower big guarding her, that she can use that quickness. 6 foot forward out of Aurora, Colorado in her 5th WNBA season, getting some more experience. But she has a versatile skill set to where I feel like she can try to drive at players more on the dribble and use the speed that she has. Mentioned it coming into this game, Onyenwere in double figures in scoring the last 2. 12 points against the Mystics, 13 against the Phoenix Mercury the game prior. A really, really good start here for Michaela Onyenwere in this one. Meanwhile, the Dream get an answer back here after the timeout. Good run there for Carl Smezko's squad as they now have 5 after a 2-point shot from Jordan Canada. Sky now on the other end. Sky basketball as it goes out of play there over the baseline. So Sky with the baseline inbounds here.
Papow's on Rachel Banham. That's going to be a matchup to watch in this game.
Banham inbounding the ball. Gets it over the top to Atkins. Only 7 on the shot clock. Williams picks up her head. Williams on the dribble. Williams spinning in the lane. No, can't get it to go. Gray, the rebound. Gray pushing pace. Gray will pull it back out, up to find Hillman. Hillman move the ball around the horn. Here comes Pow Pow off the screen. Pow Pow step back beyond the arc. No, rattles out. Banham now bringing it up for the Sky, pushing pace. Banham to Atkins. Atkins finds Cardoso with space beyond the arc. She drives, but way too strong. That one just pinged off the backboard, did not touch rim. And here comes Canada. She's going to pull it back out after getting a little bit of penetration there. Pow Pow coming on the left side off the screen. Pow Pow pulls up, and this time she hits. The Dream starting to creep back in this 12-8 here in the first quarter.
We talk a lot about help defense, but in that case, that was help offense to help get Rachel Banham to not make the closeout on Pow Pow, and she was able to take advantage.
Meanwhile, Canada out in the passing lane gets the steal. It's an easy 2 for the Dream, and they are right back in this thing. 12-10, a 2-point ball game here in the first.
Her speed is so impressive, just the way she's able to cut and move through a defense.
Canada player that this Dream team is so glad to have back as Atkins misses in the mid-range off back iron. Here comes Gray. Gray back to Canada. The point guard back fully healthy this season after missing some time as Jones drives on the left side, comes up short. Williams the rebound.
Again, just Cardoso with some staunch defense on Jones.
Banham trying to enter inside to Cardoso, but it's taken away. A little bit too telegraphed of a pass right there. Jones was able to make the read, but then it's taken right back. Cardoso says thank you very much.
Nice to see Camila Cardoso with the cookie.
Cardoso gets the steal. Here come the Sky once again. Atkins on the dribble, pulls up. Cardoso beyond the arc, top of the key. Gets it off to Banham. Banham finds Cardoso on the pick and roll action. Working for the Sky. 14-10 Sky lead.
Okay, yes, a much higher percentage point shot for Camila Cardoso, but you saw her look at that three and think about it.
Meanwhile, Hillman tries a three, rattles out. Atkins reels it back in. But hey, Rachel Banham also has been hot, and her making threes also makes the defense think twice about how they're going to guard her in that pick and roll as Cardoso tries to get one down low on the left block. It sails out of play, last touch by the Dream.
Just really athletic possession so far for Camila Cardoso, both offensively and defensively. Did I selfishly want her to take the wide open three at the top of the key? Yes. Sometimes you have to have a heat check moment when you're playing well. She's allowed.
And she's been playing great. Last 7 games, Cardoso averaging 14 points, nearly 13 boards on just about 53% shooting from the floor. Definitely been playing well as of late, 16 and 13 against the Mystics last game. And here into the game is Sevgi Uzun, the Turkish point guard who just joined the team a week ago, but it's nearly a shot clock violation. Baseline shot hit the front end, ends up rattling out, but hit just in time. Here comes Pow Pow now for the Dream. Her pass is deflected, but it's brought back under control by Nia Coffey, who's checked in now for the Dream. Gray on the dribble, back to Coffey. 5 to shoot here. Gray, 3 on the shot clock, running out of time. Gray gets it in just in time.
And a very vintage, if you're a Northwestern fan, assist there by Nia Coffey. Inside-outside game, really nice athletic pass into the paint, kicks it out to help facilitate that scoring.
Coffey, a 6'1 forward out of Northwestern, right here in Evanston, as Layla just pointed out. Had a big game against the Mystics, 15 points. And by the way, the Dream also played the Mystics in their last game on Sunday as Cardoso gets a bucket down low, made it look easy from the right block. 16-12, Sky lead the Dream here in the first quarter, just about 2.5 to go. Now into the game here is Shatori Walker-Kimbrough running the point for the Dream. 7 on the shot clock as Gray drives on the right side and a foul is called.
Yeah, we know that the Dream are going to rotate as many possible players as they can. I did want to see if Brittany Griner was going to play. That was something that we were checking on up until game time. We knew that there was a possibility she was going to be available for the Sky. She's got that neck injury, though, which I know is pretty tricky. Or for the Dream, rather. That neck injury is pretty tricky to try to manage.
Absolutely. Griner, though, was doing some pretty intense shooting drills on the court before the game, so it would appear that she's getting closer to returning, but this will not be the game, unfortunately, for the Dream, who are without not just Brittany Griner, but Griner, but Ryan Howard as well, 3-time WNBA All-Star, averaging 16.5 points per game, has been out with a knee injury that she suffered back in mid-July. At the time, it was said that she would be out for the remainder of July. Really haven't gotten a clear timeline from the team. Howard was listed as doubtful coming into this game. So again, maybe getting a little bit closer. Saw her dressed at shoot-around. Some positive signs as Alicia Gray just hit a free throw at 16-14. Sky with a slight edge. Uzun in now running the point. Kia Nurse has checked in. Rebecca Allen, Maddie Westfeld on the floor along with Elizabeth Williams for the Sky. Here's Uzun. Top of the key, well beyond the arc. 8 on the shot clock. Westfeld on the dribble on the left side. Westfeld pulls up and she knocks down the deep 2. Pretty looking shot from the rookie.
And you just see the growth from Maddie Westfeld. We've talked about it a lot. She had 13 minutes of game time. Nice to see her checking in early in this game.
Walker Kimbrough tries a mid-range shot on the other end. Too strong. Williams with the rebound, and here comes Kia Nurse. 6-foot guard, 2-time national champ out of UConn. And there's a turnover for the Chicago Sky. Just a little bit of a miscommunication as the ball was thrown out of play.
Sky averaging 15.7 turnovers per game. Unfortunately, that is last in the W.
The Sky averaged the most turnovers per game, 3 so far here in the first quarter. They keep that number under control. That would definitely set them up for success in this game. It has been a theme this team has talked about. Meanwhile, the Dream trying to come up with something on this possession. And it was Canada who drove on the left side. Couldn't come up with the basket. Sky now coming the other way. Nurse on the dribble. Taking on Canada, gets it back out to Williams beyond the arc. Williams hands it off to Westfeld. Westfeld on the dribble now. Uzun at the top of the key, 8 to shoot. Uzun pulls up a deep 3 and a high rainbow shot. Rattles out. Gray on the dribble. Bringing up the floor on the left side. She'll slow it down, get it back out to Walker Kimbrough. Canada on the drive. Kicks it back out. Gray fires from beyond the arc. No. Allen the rebound. 34 to go here in the first quarter. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Just about a 10-second difference. Now here comes Allen. Aggressive dribble on the baseline. Gets it out to Williams, who is waiting inside the paint, but her shot won't go. Canada calling out the play. Now about a 1-second difference. So this should be the last possession here as time is winding down. 10 seconds to go. Canada going to wait for that last shot. Canada around a screen on the right side. Canada on the dribble. Gets into the paint. Canada through traffic, and a foul is called.
You can tell she's been looking for that lane in the paint all game so far. Tried to get the switch there with a screen, free up Nia Coffey so she gets a little more space to drive downhill.
Canada mentioned it, a player who this Dream Team is glad to have back from injury. Missed the first 7 games with a knee injury. Returned on June 6th, and then her first season in Atlanta last year in 2024, also missed half the year with an injury. Still finished 6th in the WNBA in assists per game. She is a player with a ton of experience, 2-time WNBA champion, 2-time steals leader. She got out in the passing lane and got a steal earlier, and you mentioned just how quick she is, Layla, but a player who definitely can be a problem on both offense and defense.
And, you know, I think that she works so well in concert with Alicia Gray when it comes to that, because she's such a solid two-way player. You can see how their defense really can be effective. It's almost like a fake double blitz in a way on ball handlers on the other side.
And Canada's last free throw didn't go. The Sky had time to grab the rebound, but not enough time to make anything happen with it. It's 18-15. The Sky lead the Dream here at the end of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break here. Second quarter action coming your way. This is Sky Basketball on the Score.
Camila Cardoso plays here.
Camila Cardoso under the basket, who puts it up for 2.
On Chicago's Sports Radio, 670 The Score, and the free Odyssey app.
On the court, it's all about hustle, heart, and making the smart play. At Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha, we bring that same energy to car buying. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, you'll find bold deals, dependable vehicles, and a no-pressure team that's here to win your trust, not your wallet. Take the short drive north. We keep it simple, stress-free, and always fan-friendly. Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha, your one-stop shop for everything Subaru. Shop anytime at ZieglerSubaruKenosha.com.
Mom, come on, we have to go. Well, we have to do something to your hair. You just came from basketball practice, and I need to put some dry wash on your hair.
Like, we're gonna be late. I want to see my favorite team.
They're my favorite team, too.
Okay, but the game already started.
Create generations of joy with Jamaican mango and lime.
My hair still smells good. Girl, I told you.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Welcome back to Wintrust Arena, where you're getting you set for second quarter action between the Sky and Dream. It's the home side with an 18-15 lead here after quarter number 1. Sky shooting the ball well, 2 of 3. So they haven't taken a lot of threes, but 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, so we'll take that. Only 3 turnovers, so limiting some of the giveaways, a positive thing. What are some of the other standout factors from that first quarter of play?
You know the Sky were going to have to be aggressive in that first quarter to be able to hang with the Dream. I think about the last time these two teams met, and that was the first game, I think, that Ariel Atkins was out in July, and how the Sky only scored in the 40s in that game. You know, that was unfortunate to see for the Sky. 49 points, that was their lowest point total of the season at the time. If you compare it to now, you really see the progress that the Sky are making. But what you're also seeing, I think, is even though I talked to Tyler Marsh about Sevgi Uzun adding to the help for just point guard plays, setting the floor, you're really seeing Rachel Banham expand her role and be more confident, I think, comfortable in what she's done. You've got to be encouraged by what you've seen out of her just setting the floor as well.
Canada, speaking of setting the floor, Jordan Canada setting the floor for the Dream as she gets the first possession going here for the Dream, but it's going to be a jump ball. She was trying to thread the needle with the pass down low, but it was well read by the Sky defense and has led to a held ball call, so it's going to be a jump ball here with Maddie Westbeld, the rookie, stepping up. Another player who's looking confident in her shot, coming in off the bench, knocking down the first one that she saw in the mid-range. Hillman and Westbeld. Hillman's able to get there first, but she tries to get it to a teammate, and it ends up going out of play. So it's called Dream basketball. It's Dream basketball now on the side after that jump ball ended up going out of play after it was touched by a couple different players. So here's How trying to get it in, and it's taken away. Maddie Westbeld with the steal. Great defense there. Uzun in running the offense once again. Signed with the team a week ago. Uzun coming around the screen, trying to get it back to Cardoso, but it's touched away. It's a giveaway for the Sky. Canada pushing pace, turning on the Jets, gets it out to Gray beyond the arc. Gray on the dribble drive. She kicks it back out. Canada with it again at the top of the arc. Canada crossing over Uzun on the right side. She kicks it out far corner to Pow. Her shot won't go. Uzun ends up with a basketball.
What a height difference there on that closeout. So Camila Cardoso moves out to close in on Canada. Canada's 5'6", Cardoso 6'7". Just a little bit of a difference.
Beautiful ball movement for the Sky. Allen to Cardoso on the left side of the lane. Back to the right side where Maddie Westbeld was on the block, and she lays it up and in. 20-15, Sky lead the Dream here early in the second quarter. Now it's Hillman trying the entry pass down low, but Cardoso was there trying to read it. Looks like she maybe got a finger on it, and a jump ball is called once again. So the Sky defense really relentless here early on in the second quarter.
And also just attention to the closeouts, as we mentioned. You know, the way that this Dream team moves, they do a lot of the screens, a lot of the switching offensively. So then you're going to end up losing somebody if you're playing defense. Good on them to have heads-up D there. And if Camila Cardoso has to go out on the three-point line, then she's going to have to do it. She defended it well.
Jones jumping up against Cardoso, who wins the jump ball. Nurse up ahead on the break. No, it looked like Pow maybe got a piece on it.
Good defense there by Pow to run with her.
Ran with her and came in from behind like LeBron. I think she got the block. And on the other end, it's a quick two for Alicia Gray, who was driving on the baseline and got a little reverse lay-in to go. So it's 2017. Sky lead the Dream. Banham now on the dribble. Banham with the pass down low to Allen, who was just under the basket after a nice cut, but she could not get that close range shot to fall.
Just a little too fast. We've seen a few of those with the bunnies that aren't falling.
Speaking of fast, it's Gray making fast work. Again, there's almost no passing. She just comes down, gets the ball, and then she hits a little mid-range baseline jumper. So it's 2019, Sky with a 1-point lead. This time Allen from the top of the key splashes in a triple. Sky extend the lead to 4.
Welcome play out of Rebecca Allen. Just keep trying. It is okay. You see what happens when you do.
Canada on the dribble, gets into the paint, trying to get it out to Hillman, but it goes out of play. Last touch by the Sky. It will be Dream basketball here on their offensive end. Couple different players, Nurse and Allen checking out. Banham, Atkins, Onyenwere, Westfeld, and Cardoso on the floor now for the Sky. Pow inbounding on the baseline. Gets it to Jones. Jones back to Pow. Pow on the dribble. She'll bring it back out. Couldn't find anywhere to go. Puts it back inside to Jones, who puts it up and in.
That was the mismatch Jones was hoping for. Cardoso wasn't on her that time. It was Rachel Banham, so the height comes into play there for Jones.
Atkins now taking on Canada. Atkins tries from 3 and just rolls out. Couldn't get the shooter's roll. Walker Kimbrough back into the game for the Dream. On the dribble. Now it's Pow. Pow on the right side. To Walker Kimbrough. 8 on the shot clock. Canada top of the key on the dribble. Canada with nowhere to go, trying to take on Atkins. Canada through traffic, and it's taken away. Atkins now pushing pace. Atkins with a bunch of red jerseys in front of her just throws it away. Throws it right to Walker Kimbrough. Now here comes Pow. Can't get the reverse lay-in to go in transition. Quite the chaotic sequence there, but that's where you'd like to see Atkins slow it down. So Atkins, for folks who are listening, was driving, trying to very quickly get it up the floor after the steal, but there were so many red jerseys waiting down in the paint who were able to get back. Atkins, though, lays an easy one in, little back and forth, the two-man game with Cardoso.
Okay, so this is a track meet, but what you're seeing is the Sky are trying to play at the same pace as the Dream. Theirs is a little bit slower, but the two-woman game helping there with Cardoso and Atkins.
Hillman tries a lay-in on the right side, can't get it to go. Here comes Banham. Banham pulls up. Ball out of play. Looks like it took a deflection off of Pow, who was running to close out Banham. It is going to be Sky basketball. And a couple of substitutes coming in. Williams, it looks like, is going to check back in as Westfeld heads to the bench. A couple of productive minutes, though, for the rookie. And we're going to step aside as there's a timeout here on the floor. This is Sky basketball on the Score.
David Haugh here. Talk Chicago sports with us on the Mullen Haugh Show. Mornings 5:30 to 10 on Sports Radio 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Basketball is more than just a sport. It's a game of improving and winning through statistics, angles, analytics, and strategy. And it's a powerful path to STEM. Microsoft and the WNBA are teaching kids the science behind the game. How gravity affects ball handling. How geometry helps sink shots. How dribbling uses energy. Because when kids connect basketball with STEM, they're inspired to learn on and off the court.
Stock up and save for summer with hot deals at Menards. Tackle your projects with rugged wear men's or ladies' work gloves. Plus, keep bugs away with Wasp and Hornet Spray. On sale now. Plus a 24-pack of Duracell Power Boost batteries on sale. Hurry! These great deals won't last long. Sign up for Menards emails to get the weekly flyer plus exclusive daily flash sales right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Welcome back to Wintrust Arena. Layla Rahimi and Kylan Mills here. Second quarter action. The Sky lead the Dream 25-21. Here's a stat we've not talked about yet, Layla. The Sky have 9 assists on 11 made baskets. The ball movement, I know we were just watching some highlights during the break of the two-man game, but just the ball movement overall has been really good.
That is how they're going to stay up on the assist-to-turnover ratio. That is huge for a team that turns it over to have that many assists. The efficiency of the offense, and also just the variety of what you're seeing with how they're giving each other the ball. Like when Camila Cardoso is at the top of the key and she just hands it off to Atkins, who cuts through the lane. That's what we're talking about here. There's some creativity with how they're distributing the ball tonight.
The Sky now with the ball on the baseline. Banham gets it into Williams. Williams off to Onyenwere. Onyenwere to a cunning Cardoso down low. Gets it in on the right block. Cardoso having an effective game. 27-21. Sky lead 8 points for Cardoso. Gray now with the ball on the dribble beyond the arc for the Dream. Hillman. 8 on the shot clock. Gray gets it back on the dribble on the left side. Can't find anywhere to go. Still beyond the arc. Here comes Coffey. Coffey into the paint. Rises up just in time. But the basket won't go. Just rolled out. Atkins now bringing it up. Gets it off to Banham on the left side. Banham entry pass into Cardoso on the block. Cardoso kicks it right back out to Onyenwere. Onyenwere coming around. Kind of a screen by Williams, ended up going the opposite way. She can't get it to go. Too strong in her basket attempt inside the paint.
And you see Gray's defense there, just really steadfast and able to just maintain pace and space. And that's what caused that possession to turn into their favor.
And Coffey just stepped out of bounds on that last possession for the Dream, so it's Sky basketball. Good job by the defense to force a turnover. 5 for the Dream, and they're not a team that turns the ball over very often. Now it's Williams from the free throw line. She comes up short. Gray pushing pace. Gray off to Coffey. Coffey to Pow Pow. Pow Pow on the dribble, shakes Banham. Pow Pow comes up short with the floater. But Cardoso with the rebound, trying to get it off to Banham, has it stolen away. Dream come right back at the Sky. And there's an entry pass to Hillman. Hillman goes up. Looked like she was denied by Cardoso, but Cardoso is called for the foul, and there's some boos from the fans here at Wintrust. I don't know about that one.
Because I need to see a replay of this. Oh, she does make contact with her arm going down, but it certainly looked like it was mostly ball, but you do see some contact on the back end. Sky are playing through Cardoso right now.
Yeah, so Cardoso, and that's the thing about when you go up to block, and she was coming in from behind. It's just like you can't let the arm swing down because she got ball initially, but then it's that follow-through motion where you catch the arm, and unfortunately now it's 2 opportunities at the free throw line for Hillman. But Cardoso having a productive game so far. 8 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and 2 steals.
And it's understandable. You want the ball back after you rebounded and then tried to kick it out, and unfortunately it got taken away. I understand what she was trying to do.
Hillman hits the second free throw. 27-23. Sky lead the second quarter. Banham on the dribble. Beyond the arc, hands it off to Atkins. 8 on the shot clock. Atkins guarded by Canada. Atkins trying to get into Cardoso. Almost taken away. It's bobbled around, but then Banham comes up with it. She tries a tough runner on the baseline. That shot won't go. Canada bringing the ball up now for the Dream. Canada pulls it back out. Canada dribbling on the left side, and there is an offensive foul called. Hillman's called for an illegal screen, so it's Sky basketball.
You see Canada there with a frustrated look. Yeah. The Sky are doing a very good job keeping up defensively and just trying to prevent them from getting, I think, the lanes and the looks that they're used to getting. They're taking away a lot of the lane presence for them.
And this is a Dream team that can score in a variety of ways. Yes, they can do it in the paint, but they've also been a great three-point shooting team this season as Bantam now gets the ball beyond the arc, and it's 9 on the shot clock. The Sky on this next possession still trying to penetrate. Here it goes into Cardoso. Cardoso finds Williams on the weak side. The big-to-big action gets 2 points up for the Sky.
And just a bullet of a pass from Camila Cardoso there to help make that happen. Just an absolutely well-timed, fast pass.
29-23, Sky lead the Dream, and it's Cardoso with the block on the other end. Gray trying to drive on the left side, and Cardoso is nodding her head and smiling after that defensive action.
She always smiles, but it's so nice to see the aggressiveness combined with just the joy that she seems to be playing with right now, and the outright speed.
Cardoso having herself a game. Now, it did go out of bounds after the block, so the Dream retained possession. And there is a whistle. It looks like there is an issue possibly with the shot clock needing to be reset. So there is a whistle, and there's going to be a pause in play here. Well, that is figured out at the scorer's table because it looked like the shot clock reset, and it shouldn't have reset because it was a block.
Should we shout out our star sighting here courtside at the Sky game?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Billy Deck. I'm a fan of Sunda.
Okay, I was just going to say, are you a fan?
Of course.
I love that. You're a Chicago, and you've got to be a foodie too, right?
Oh yeah. The eating was never a problem for me. Too much sushi, a lot of trips to Sunda.
Can I get that on a t-shirt? The eating has never been a problem for me. Well, okay.
Confessions.
I'm not
here
going
at the Sky game.
I'm not going to follow up on that, Layla. But conversations being had amongst the officiating crew. Apologize for the pause. There now is the Jeopardy music playing here inside the arena as folks are awaiting the shot clock situation to be resolved. Angelica Suffren, once again over here at the scorer's table trying to figure it out. One of the officials on the call today is...
We had a 10 on the shot clock.
Yeah,
now we
there
have
was
a 3.
10, now there's a 3. So they're trying to figure out the discrepancy. Once again, it was a block by Camila Cardoso. Ball went out of play on the baseline, and then the shot clock errantly was reset so that they had 25 seconds when that should not have been the case. So they're trying to figure out what the shot clock should be at, I would presume. And it looks like it is going to be 3 seconds on the shot clock for the Dream now in this possession. So that makes a difference, too, for the Sky defensively, and they've been playing really well. Mentioned it, this Dream team, they can score in the paint, but they also can shoot beyond the arc, and they have been shooting extremely well, averaging more than 28 threes taken per game. Now here's Hillman. Speaking of threes, it takes a deflection, and Bantam now takes the ball the other direction. Atkins on the dribble on the right side. Cardoso there trying to set the screen, and she does. Atkins going left. Bantam now with the ball. Bantam off to Onyenwere. Onyenwere gets it into Ewell. Williams backing down Hillman. Williams can't get the floater to go.
Everything but the finish there for Elizabeth Williams. Nice timing, nice pivot, nice footwork. Everything but the actual finish.
Williams with 2 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. Has looked very aggressive here early. I know you pointed out Cardoso as well. Canada now on the dribble drive on the left side. Kicks it out to Jones beyond the arc, way off. But the Dream come up with a rebound, an odd rebound. Walker Kimbrough now in the paint. And it's a shot clock violation as the Dream run out of time.
And that was what I was trying to figure out. We've seen a couple of frantic sequences so far.
Sky timeouts. The Sky with the lead as well, 29-23. The home side on top. This is Sky basketball on the score.
Matt Spiegel here. We're talking Chicago sports on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Some bonds are unbreakable, no matter how they wear or soften over time. Unbreakable. We're Magellan Corporation, a specialty steel distributor. The bonds we make are unbreakable, and not just the metal ones. The bonds we make in our communities, as strong as a boy and his bunny. Magellan, a specialty steel distributor with a heart of gold.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This is Coach Dave Wanstead here, and it's football time in Chicago. That means TV, score radio, and I walk to every show that I do. And that may sound easy, but from a guy that's had several knee operations, ruptured Achilles, knee replacements, it can be a challenge. Hey, I've tried about everything personally, but I made a stop at the Good Feet store, and Tyler, the general manager, he gave me a free personalized fitting and a test walk. And wearing them right now, I walked up here. I'll tell you what, it has made all the difference in the world. Good Feet arch supports can help with foot, ankle, knee, hip, and even back by properly aligning your body from the ground up. And they slip into the shoes that you already own. Learning if Good Feet arch supports will work for you is as easy as scheduling a free fitting and test walk. To learn more, go to goodfeet.com or simply stop by. Walk-ins are always welcome at any of their 7 Chicagoland locations, including the newest store in Highland, Indiana.
The Sky are soaring here at Wintrust Arena, 29-23 lead over the Dream. We need a little boom or something here right now, Layla. Come on.
Oh, man, I thought that was actually a good
pun.
I thought that it was a good use of what was happening in the game. I thought it was just artfully spoken language.
Thank you. All right.
I'm sorry. I was like, oh, I like it. I like the visual.
Okay, so I have a fun fact for you. I was building this up during the break, but it's actually not that fun. But the Sky have 16 points in the paint right now. The last time these two teams met, the Dream beat the Sky 86-49. The Sky had 18 points in the paint. In the entire game, they were outscored in the paint 40-15 the last time they faced the Dream. The opposite story in this game today.
I think they're finding out what works for them. And I know that sounds simple, but it's absolutely not. If you see how the WNBA course of the season goes down, you see them trying to develop their identity. They're doing it right here.
And it's Camila Cardoso who got the ball on the right block as the ball is back in play here. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. 29-23 again. Sky lead. Cardoso was fouled, so she'll go to the free throw line with the opportunity to get into double figures in scoring before the half. You talked about players being aggressive. Cardoso is looking aggressive as aggressive as anybody.
Well, and that's continuing a trend for her because in the game against the Mystics, she had 12 points and 10 rebounds before halftime. As she's going, the Sky is going, and I think she realizes that's when she can be the most potent. But I mentioned how you're developing an identity. We say cliches like that, for example, play through your center. But we're seeing it happen. When you talk about points in the paint, it's a function of playing through your center in this way.
Canada flying down the floor after a free throw miss from Cardoso. Gets it out to Tahina Paopao, who drives on the left side. Her left-handed layup won't go. Here come the Sky going the other direction, and it's Uzun who gets it under control on the right side. Cardoso beyond the arc finds a cutting Bannerham, who lays it up and in.
The Sky are working. They're in business with this play. Cardoso at the top of the key, a cutting Bannerham. The movement is producing these buckets for them.
31-23, Sky lead. Here comes Hillman on the left side. Can't get it to go. Ball rattled around as both teams fight for the board, and it's out of play.
So what you're seeing...
It is called Sky ball, last touch by the Dream, according to the officials.
So what you're seeing is Sky on the run, center high, guard cuts, left side underneath the paint, and it's been working out for them in multiple different ways with multiple point guards in that position.
There is a technical foul that has been called on Dream point guard Jordan Canada. Not sure exactly if something must have been said. Not sure exactly what happened, but that was what has been announced. Is there is a pause in play here, and it looks like there is going to be a review that takes place amongst the officiating crew at Wintrust Arena after Canada was given a technical foul. So we'll have to see exactly what caused that and what that's a result of.
For the Chicago Sky to take possession.
So we do have a pause in play here at Wintrust Arena. The Sky lead the Dream 31-23 with just about 1:24 to go here before the halftime break. Jordan Canada, Dream point guard, has been given a technical, but there is an official review taking place at the moment. I want to go back, though, Layla, to the Sky really getting things to click on offense, because that's something we've been seeing them try to run, but they haven't done it as effectively as they've done tonight, where when Angel Reese was healthy, and we've called some games the same thing, where they have her receive the ball up beyond the arc, top of the key kind of area, and then they have someone else who tries to cut to the basket, and they've been able to get openings using that action, but it's just been working, I think, better than it has been prior in the season. And I also think it's a good time to point out that you have to be patient when you have a new coach and a new system, and it doesn't just happen overnight where these things start to come together.
Well, and the luxury is that you have the size in the post game when both Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso are healthy. That's why the Sky are in the top 5 in the WNBA in rebounds. They've seen this work in their favor. But what we haven't seen as much of is Cardoso play with this kind of pace. And before the last game we broadcast here on 670 The Score, that was a game against the Indiana Fever on the 27th of July. Mm-hmm. One of the things that Tyler Marsh talked about was wanting Camila Cardoso to continue to be aggressive, be confident. And what you're seeing right now is the result of this. You're seeing the entire game feed through her, whether it's having to be under the paint traditionally and she's able to get the mismatch, whether she's going to be aggressive underneath the opponent's basket. Everything is seemingly flowing through her, even though the guards are playing at this pace where they're so fast. She's complementary to that, and that's why I think you're seeing this success offensively. For them to be up 31-23 over the Dream with 1:24 left to go, especially when this is the 4th meeting between these two teams, think about the progress there, just knowing that this isn't a healthy team either, the Sky team. And for them to see all this progress against a team that they've faced now 4 times this season, put it all together, and that's why I think you're seeing a lot of this come through.
For folks who are new to the WNBA as well, the Dream are having a great season, a dream season, some might say. 18-11 record, 3rd place in the WNBA standings, looking for, or rather they've won 4 straight, won 5 of their last 6, and that's without Ryan Howard, who we pointed out, one of their best players who's been out since mid-July, dealing with an injury, also without Brittany Griner, so they also been dealing with injuries, but they've still found ways to win. This is a really complete team. The Dream are top 5 in terms of a scoring offense and defense, top 5 in rebounding, 3-point shooting, assists, blocks per game. I mean, the list goes on. This is not a team that's going to beat themselves either, because they don't turn it over, fewest turnovers per game in the league, and therefore the fewest points conceded off turnovers. So, this is not an easy team to beat. For additional context, and the Sky have really come out, and I feel like hit first in this game with his 31-23 lead shortly before the halftime break.
And they're also just addressing the things that have been working for them. We talk about the points in the paint. The Sky outscored the Mystics 52-42 in the paint in their last game, helped them win. We talked about the aggressiveness of Camila Cardoso and what that means as far as playing through her. How long was it going to take for her to really realize that she is 6'7", and that means that she's going to be a force in the WNBA? Teams are going to have to do everything around her because they understand that is so key. Her size, when she utilizes it to her advantage. We're still trying to see it's whether or not the basketball went off of the foot.
Yep, they were trying to see who it was last touched by, although Jordan Canada was also awarded the technical right before this review took place, but they are taking a long time as officiating crew to review who last touched the basketball on the baseline before it went out of bounds. Another thing to note about Chicago's bigs, the Sky's bigs, not just Cardoso, but you could say it about Williams, Onyenwere, and Reese, is that they're all willing passers. And that's another big reason why all of these different actions they're trying to run work, because they're all really good and, like I said, willing to pass the ball, and I think have that skill set. And you look at Cardoso having 4 assists in this game, that's another thing that sticks out to me.
That's another element. We talk so much about her points and her rebounds, but her assists are not necessarily in the same caliber of stats for her. She only had 3 assists, relatively speaking, in the game against the Mystics. But if she can get that many assists, and I also like how confidently she's passing the ball. She's not afraid to have a bullet pass. She's not afraid to have a lob pass. She's okay with her passing abilities. And again, you're seeing just the payoff for the Sky offensively.
The challenge is successful. The Dream will retain their timeout and take possession on the end line. But there was a technical foul, so we will be shooting.
So to clarify what happened, ball went out of bounds and it was called Sky Basketball. Jordan Canada was separately awarded a technical, but the Dream challenged that out of bounds call. They won the challenge. It was determined it was last touched by the Sky, so therefore it's Dream basketball, and because they won the challenge, they retained their challenge. However, the Sky also have to take the 2 technical free throws before the Dream put the ball back in play. So a very complicated sequence here. We're about to get back underway here late in the second quarter. And it's the Sky leading the Dream 32-23 after a couple of free throws, or a free throw rather, goes down for Banham. Ball back in play now for the Dream, and it's Hillman beyond the arc. 5 on the shot clock. Gray pulls up beyond the arc, and Gray knocks it down just in time for the Dream.
She knew that was going in when she took the shot.
32-26. Sky still holding on to the lead a minute before the halftime buzzer. And it's Allen into the game. She gets it to Cardoso down low. Cardoso working on Jones. Couldn't get her shot to go. Canada now pushing pace up the floor. Canada goes flying into the paint. Just barely gets the penetration. Kicks it back out. Canada on the ball again on the right side. Canada on the dribble beyond the arc. Canada driving in the paint. Weaving through traffic and gets a circus shot to fall. Left-hander was good. And that tough drive.
That was that lane that Canada had been looking for most of the game.
She doesn't need much of a lane, though. Man, she's so small and quick. She just gets right in there as Banham steps into a deep 2. 34-28, Sky lead the Dream.
Best way to respond for Banham, because unfortunately Canada put her on skates a little bit on that last possession. 23
seconds to go before the halftime break. About a 3-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Powell with the ball on the logo, going to run down some time. Powell now on the dribble. Powell penetrates into the paint, kicks it back out. Hillman on the drive on the right side, finds Jones on the baseline. Jones working on Cardoso, but she runs out of time. Shot clock violation. 3.6 seconds to go, and it's another great defensive possession for the Sky.
And again, just the Sky trying to take away the Dream's options. We see what they're trying to do. That's what a well-coached team does. They're going to tell you what they do with the basketball. But the Sky's defense was too strong there.
Just a couple seconds here for the Sky. They get the ball in play. Banham looking for the shot. Banham throwing it up. She comes up short just at the halftime buzzer. Good looking idea, though, for the Sky, and a good first half as the Sky lead the third place Atlanta Dream 34-28 at the half. We'll step aside now for the halftime break. Kate Constable will be stepping in here shortly for the halftime show. This is Sky Basketball on The Score.
Courtney Vandersloot plays here.
Vandersloot from beyond the arc, yes!
On Chicago's Sports Radio, 670 The Score, and the free Odyssey app.
Jody J asks, about to add the 88th device to our network. Can our internet keep up?
It can, Jody, but more devices means you need faster internet.
We've engineered Xfinity's network so you can upgrade your speed to keep doing everything you need to do, like working, video chatting, streaming, and slaying zombies, all in the name of science.
I've never been to a seance.
Switch to fast, reliable Xfinity Internet for just $30 a month with Wi-Fi equipment. And ask how to get a free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled, too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Hey parents, it's David Hall in Chicago. As the new school year kicks off, you've got a lot on your plate. And if you're like most, you appreciate knowing what to expect, especially when it comes to your monthly bills. Well, Verizon has some big news that will bring you serious peace of mind. For the first time ever, they're locking in low prices for 3 years. That's right, 3 years guaranteed with My Plan. Right now, you can get a single line for a low price of just $50 a month when you switch and bring your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. And again, that amazing price is locked in for 3 whole years. Because at Verizon, Verizon, they've got your back now and in the future. So go ahead, take one big thing off your back-to-school worry list. Visit your local Verizon store in Chicago. Do it today and ask about the 3-year price guarantee. Get ready for a smooth, connected school year. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower with other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Welcome to the Chicago Sky Halftime Show, brought to you by the Village of Bedford Park, proud economic development partner of the Chicago Sky. Bring your business home to Bedford Park. For more information, visit villageofbedfordpark.com. Here's Alyssa Bergamini.
Welcome back to Wintrust Arena, where the Sky are hosting the Atlanta Dream right here on 670 The Score. I'm Kate Constable, filling in tonight for Alyssa Bergamini. We've got a 6-point game here at the half, with the Sky leading the Atlanta Dream 34-28. Sky got off to a 12-3 start early on in the first, forcing the Dream to call an early timeout. But Atlanta wasted no time climbing back in to within 3 points at the end of the quarter. However, Chicago used a strong second quarter, outscoring Atlanta by 3 to build a lead once again. Rachel Banham leading the Sky in scoring at the half with 11 points, while Camila Cardosa has been effective. She's put up 8 points on 4 of 7 from the field. Newly acquired Turkish guard Sevgi Uzun, who's added solid minutes off the bench, leading that second unit. She has 2 assists in 7 minutes at the halfway point, but has been strong defensively as well. Our Kylan Mills caught up with her earlier today to talk about her transition to Chicago and her role with the team and how she fits into that pick and roll game that we've seen here tonight.
What went through your mind when you found out you were coming to the Sky, and what were those initial moments like when you did arrive here and make the move?
That was a long story, actually. It is a long story because we were in touch while I was playing Eurobasket. I know I had an idea, more or less, but I was so focused on my national team. And then I had a little bit of time for getting rest mentally and physically, but we kept in touch. And then when I decided to come here and join them, I was just so excited because all I was hearing was how amazing the locker room was and the people and the organization. So I know they were going through a lot of injuries and stuff. So I just wanted to be here and help as much as I can, and how they were seeing me as a player and actually knowing me as who I am, especially overseas, and wanting me here like that, it meant a lot. So I wanted to be a part of it.
Awesome. From what you saw on film and what you've been able to experience from arriving, what do you feel like about this system suits your game and has allowed you to fit in so quickly?
I say this all the time. So there's Courtney Vandersloot facts, right? So yeah. I'm trying to take advantage of her game, what she created here, because I am more system point guard too, just enjoying controlling the game and putting everybody in their best spots and just feeling the game kind of stuff, feeling pick and rolls. And of course her level is different, but she was doing exactly what she was doing here. So coming here after her, them being used to playing with real point guard, hearing their point guards and being used to someone is controlling them, and being used to that and all that. So it helped me a lot. And I think I felt a little bit more comfortable coming here because I knew Courtney already had a voice, and then she did everything that she could, Courtney. Yeah. So I knew I wouldn't be the same, but I knew I could take advantage of what she left, and I think it's helping so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You seem really comfortable running the offense, as you just pointed out. What is your mental approach, your mindset in terms of what you want to accomplish for the team night in and night out?
It changes every game because I'm trying to beat what they need every game, and it might look different for the teams that we're playing against. And there are players that I played before, so it helps having them on the court, them being used to me and playing with me. Like, it helps a lot. It brings like confidence. I feel more comfortable with them. But the other teammates, like, everybody has been so welcoming and supportive, and I think it broke the shell like super fast because I felt like welcomed, and I'm like, okay, like, let's just communicate and then play. And yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything.
Since you brought up the pick and roll game, what's it been like playing with Camila and Ewil? I know that Angel's been out, but still, what's it been like playing with and being able to take advantage of some of the bigs that they've got here in Chicago?
Oh, I love playing with the bigs who can move and pass, and like they just set a screen and roll. I like it a lot because I'm kind of taller than the other point guards, so I love like passing really high, and they are so quick to catch it, and they have like really quick first steps, and it's been so fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to play with Angel too.
Uzun also said that she's enjoyed being here in Chicago. She loves the city, and she loves the weather. We'll see if she still likes that weather come mid-December here in Chicago. We'll take a look at the first half box score and get you set for the second half when we come back. I'm Kate Constable. You're listening to Chicago Sky Basketball on The Score.
You're listening to Chicago Sky Basketball on Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score, an Odyssey sports station. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago.
The Chicago Sky are soaring, and women's sports have never been more electric as they build something great on the court. The Village of Bedford Park is building greatness off it as the official economic development partner of the Chicago Sky. From unmatched access to Lake Michigan water to unbeatable business opportunities, the Village of Bedford Park is where growth takes flight. Business owners, it's time to relocate and thrive. Visit villageofbedfordpark.com and be part of something bigger, just like the sky.
Hey, it's Mullenhoff for Window Nation. The end of summer is coming to the Chicago area, and before you blink, you'll be back to dealing with cold, windy days again. So it's time to have Window Nation replace your home's windows in 1 day or less.
Get 50% off all window styles plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That makes Window Nation more affordable on average than other companies. This sale ends soon. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90NATION or windownation.com. And tell them Mullenhoff sent you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts, and savings and eligibility vary by state.
You're listening to Chicago Sky Basketball on The Score. I'm Kate Constable coming to you from Wintrust Arena. The Sky have a 6-point lead at the half over the Atlanta Dream with a score of 34-28. Chicago came out aggressive right from the opening tip, similar to the start that they had in Tuesday night's win over the Mystics. It's a completely different story from the last time these two teams met back in mid-July when Atlanta controlled that game from start to finish and had a commanding lead by the half. That said, important to note that both Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins were out in that game. Atkins, just her second game back from injury. She's looked confident and decisive, attacking early, playing with noticeable edge. She has 4 points on 50% shooting from the field, but has added 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and has a team-leading +6 mark at the half. Alicia Gray has been the engine for Atlanta, pushing the ball, playing with a ton of purpose, leading all scorers with 11 points on 4 of 8 from the field, including a big 3 with about a minute left in the half. It's been a track meet so far here at Wintrust Arena. The Atlanta Dream setting the pace and tempo, dictating that here. Sky have been trying to match that speed, but so far the Dream have the edge in transition points. On the other side, Chicago's half-court execution has been sharp. The ball movement's been great, particularly that high-low action. Sky have racked up quite a few assists this afternoon, have been effective near the rim. Camila Cardosa has been a major benefactor there. She has 8 points, just behind Rachel Banham for the scoring lead. Banham with 11 points here at the half. Chicago currently holds the edge in points in the paint, 18-12, a category that Atlanta's owned throughout this season's series. Sky have gotten quality looks throughout the first half, but they haven't always fallen. However, Chicago is shooting 42% from the field overall and 50% from three, though they have only taken 6 attempts from deep. Defensively, the Sky have been solid, forced Atlanta into multiple shot clock violations and a few turnovers as well. We'll be back after the break with the second half action from Wintrust Arena. Kylan Mills and Layla Rahimi on the call with you. I'm Kate Constable. You're listening to Chicago Sky Basketball on The Score.
Mully here. Talk Chicago sports with us on the Mully and Haw Show mornings, 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Basketball is more than just a sport. It's a game of improving and winning through statistics, angles, analytics, and strategy. And it's a powerful path to STEM. Microsoft and the WNBA are teaching kids the science behind the game, how gravity affects ball handling, how geometry helps sink shots, how dribbling uses energy. Because when kids connect basketball with STEM, they're inspired to learn on and off the court.
If you see a foundation crack, it may be a sign of a larger problem. So don't just get it repaired, get protected. At US Waterproofing, we're not only experts at sealing leaks, we're a complete solution to keep your basement dry. From replacing ineffective gutters and downspouts to raising settled concrete, US Waterproofing has provided customized solutions for over 500,000 happy customers. Schedule your free consultation today at uswaterproofing.com and enjoy no interest if paid in full in 1 year. US Waterproofing. A better basement starts with us.
Hey, Chicago, it's David Haw from The Score here, and you know I'm all about staying connected no matter what, and nobody does it like Verizon. I'm talking about the best 5G in Chicago, and with Verizon, everything just works. Need to check traffic before your commute? Boom, instantly. Trying to snag that impossible dinner reservation? Consider it done. This isn't just fast, it's America's most reliable 5G network, keeping you connected to what matters most. And get this, right now, when you bring your own phone and switch to Verizon on Unlimited Welcome with AutoPay Plus, taxes and fees, you can get a single line for just $50 a month. You heard that right. The best 5G in Chicago for just $50 a month. So if you're ready to experience the difference with the best 5G network around, stop by your nearest Chicago Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Rankings based on RootMetrics Root Score report dated 2H 2024. Your results may vary. Additional terms apply.
Welcome back to Wintrust Arena, where we're getting set for second half action between the Sky and Dream. Layla Rahimi and Kylan Mills here on the call, getting you ready for the action. Layla, what excited you most about what we saw from the Sky as they hold this 34-28 lead at the half?
Just true play through the set. I say that all the time, but what you see Camila Cardoso doing, being aggressive, owning her size, just putting her hands up, knowing that when she does, something is good is going to happen defensively. The way she's been able to turn that into such effective play offensively, I think facilitating movement underneath the basket as a center when you're up high and then feeding a cutting guard down low, that is the goal. You know, that when I think of the different ways the Skies can score, when I think about how effective they are in the paint, you typically think that's going to be because your post is rebounding in the low post, and they're collecting a miss and then putting the bucket in. But when you see this, where she's facilitating the guard movement and just the underneath movement under the basket, I really enjoy what we're seeing and how they're scoring and how aggressive they are with just playing through her.
It's something in times past where we've called games that you've called for more of. Like, they need to be feeding the post more, and they are getting Cardoso the ball, and she's doing a lot of great things with it. Cardoso with 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Oh, and 3 blocks, by the way. Can't forget that. At the half, as we get the second half going here, the Dream with a possession, and Gray knocks down a three-pointer. 34-31, Sky with a slight edge.
This is the toughest quarter historically for the Sky, so let's see how they answer and try to maintain in the third quarter.
Cardoso with a handoff to Atkins. Atkins coming around to screen, but an offensive foul is called on Michaela Oninwere, who is setting the screen. So illegal screening action there leads to a turnover.
Jordan Canada goes down. She held her knee a little bit, but then she was able to get back up.
Certainly not something that Dream team wants to see. As I mentioned, Canada missing quite a bit of time earlier this year with a knee injury, also missing some time last season as well. Now it's Jones with the ball. She kicks it out to Pow Pow, and Pow Pow's it in.
It had to be done.
It had to be done, yeah. The rookie guard earning the start, her 6th of the season in this one, now with 6 points as the Dream look to close the gap. Cardoso now hands it off to Onyenwere. Onyenwere on the left elbow, 6 on the shot clock. Onyenwere with nowhere to go, trying to get the ball out, but she was just smothered by Gray, and Onyenwere throws it out of bounds over the baseline. Another costly turnover for the Sky here early in this third quarter.
Well, and I was worried at some point she wasn't going to dribble that ball, and it was going to get turned into a travel for her.
34-34, all tied up here at Wintrust Arena, with the Sky trying to regain the lead. But it's Pow Pow bringing the ball up here for the Dream. Pow Pow gets it to Jones. Jones off to Hillman. Pow Pow on the dribble, 8 on the shot clock. Pow Pow on the dribble on the right side. Feeds Hillman down low. Hillman puts it up off the glass. It just rolled out, but a foul is called. Onyenwere's second foul, first team foul here as this third quarter gets underway.
Pace changing a little bit with Onyenwere in the game. Tyler Marsh trying to distribute the minutes, and I think well aware of the fact that this third quarter has been a bugaboo for the Sky.
Yeah, the Sky really watching that lead evaporate quickly here just in the first few minutes of this third quarter. Now it is 35-34. Dream with the lead after Hillman makes her first free throw. Shooting more than 82% from the charity stripe on the season, and she makes the second. So it's a 2-point lead now for the Dream. Banham bringing the ball up to the Sky. Banham gets it off to Williams. Williams to Atkins. Atkins on the right side on the dribble. Atkins pulls up. Atkins to Allen at the top of the key. Allen, top of the key. Gets a handoff from Cardoso. Allen trying to penetrate. It's touched away by Canada, and it does roll out of bounds off the foot of Alicia Gray. So the Sky keep the ball, but just 6 seconds on the shot clock.
You can also tell, I think they're still trying to be watchful of Atkins' minutes. You know, that was something Tyler Marsh mentioned before the game as well. So that's why you're probably seeing a lot of different substitutions here.
Banham on the sidelines trying to get the ball into Atkins, but an offensive foul is called on Atkins. Her first, the team's second here in this third quarter, so it's a turnover for the Sky once again. Several of them here in the first 2 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, frustrating first couple of minutes. Out of the halftime, too. That's the hard part.
Gray rises up in the paint. Makes it look easy. And it's a 38-34 Dream lead. Sky head coach Tyler Marsh is going to call a timeout to figure out how to regroup his squad, as third quarter is Layla called a bugaboo for the Sky. This is Sky basketball on the Score.
The Chicago Sky play here.
Carter with a crossover for the tie.
Listen to all the action on Sports Radio 670 The Score and the free Odyssey app.
Wildfire Restaurants is celebrating 30 years. An iconic supper club serving a variety of food with something for everyone. Open for lunch, dinner, carry-out, private parties, and catering. 5 Chicago area locations. For reservations and to order online, visit wildfirerestaurant.com.
Here, we see a young innovator coming into his own, expressing his creativity by tailoring his dad's favorite pair of jeans. We're Magellan Corporation. We're innovators in the steel industry. We are creative thinkers, tailors. We tailor custom business solutions that make working with us as comfortable and easy as Dad's new jorts. Magellan, a specialty steel distributor with a heart of gold.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Here's the story of the third quarter for the Sky as they trailed the Dream 38-34 just 2 minutes in. Sky turnover, Dream three-pointer. Sky turnover, Dream make 2 free throws. Sky turnover, Dream make a 2-point shot. Alicia Gray hits the 7-footer. I mean, that's been it. That's been what's led to this Dream run here to start off the second half.
Well, and that's a big part of what makes the Dream so good. They are incredibly efficient at turning turnovers into points, and I think you're seeing that. Both of these teams' last game was against the Washington Mystics, so that was again a game where we saw the Dream really take hold in the second half, and they were able to convert 22 turnovers into 13 points in that game.
Cardoso gets the ball on the elbow as the Sky put it back in play, and there is a foul called just seconds into this continued third quarter action. Once again, the Sky trailed the Dream by 4.
Pace is definitely slow.
Foul called on Canada, it looks like. Atkins cutting quickly, but she gets it off to Williams. Williams spinning in the paint, rattles out. Williams trying to fight for the rebound a little too aggressively. Came around Jones and gets called for the foul. Some frustration there maybe from Williams after missing the shot.
Well, given the pace and just the fluidity with which they played to start this game, to come out like this out of the half can be frustrating for a team.
Canada bringing the ball up here for the Dream. Canada gets a handoff back from Jones. Canada into the paint, kicks it out. Far side 3 from Hillman, rattles out. Too strong. Allen the rebound, gets it out to Bannon. Bannon bringing the ball up, feeds Cardoso in the paint. Cardoso gets it off to Williams. Williams tries a tough behind the back shot. She was almost underneath the backboard when she took it, and she draws the foul.
Yeah, she almost looked like the WNBA logo there, actually, with the extension. But good effort, just wasn't able to get it to fall. But you can tell she's just trying to be perseverant when it comes to pushing just something to happen offensively. And I think you just have to do that when you know that you haven't scored as much as you'd like in this quarter so far.
We talked about Onenwere starting out aggressive, Cardoso being aggressive and having a pretty effective first half. The player who had a quiet first half was Elizabeth Williams after leading the team in scoring against the Mystics with 18 points, 10 boards, and we talked about the 7 of 11 efficiency. Haven't seen or heard much from her in the first half. She just sinks the free throws. So she now has 4 points, but just 2 in that first half of action.
Sometimes it's what the team is giving you, right? Kind of like what we saw with Canada. She couldn't get the lane that she wanted.
Hillman now with the ball in the dribble for the Dream. 8 on the shot clock. Here comes Pow Pow. Pow Pow gets fouled. Williams came flying at her, and it looked like got ball. But the whistle blows for a foul.
That definitely looked like all ball. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in a sky blue blazer here. But I would need to see a replay to see what happened here to make them think that it was any different. That's ball. Now, Pow Pow got hit with the basketball once it was blocked. But I believe the crowd has every reason to boo that call right now. Also, we've had so many whistles in this quarter already.
Yeah, a lot of whistles here in the third. It looks like, according to the stats, though, that Bannon was awarded the foul, or was issued the foul, and not Williams, which Williams was the player on the ball, so I don't know what Bannon did, maybe from behind, as Gray responds with a 2-point shot. 39-38. The Sky trail by 1. Here comes Pow Pow flying in the lane, and Williams comes flying right behind her, gets a piece of it as she both, actually not just she, they both sail out of bounds on the baseline.
So I've been following the facial expressions of Williams here. On that last possession, I was definitely reacting to her being frustrated about the block. She comes right back, does it again, and is able to, I think, pick up where she leaves off and feel better about the answer that she had defensively.
Williams with the block from behind like LeBron, but it's the Dream that put the ball right back in play, and Jones gets it off the baseline inbounds and lays it up and in too easy. Here comes Atkins on the left side on the dribble. Atkins with a tough runner on the baseline. Woo! Ariel Atkins showing her range. So now it's 41-40. Dream lead the Sky. 6:08 to go in the third quarter. The Sky force a turnover. Dream ran into some traffic. They're down low. And here comes Williams. Williams spinning in the lane. She goes up with it, too strong. Hillman the rebound. Throws the outlet up ahead to Canada. Canada on the break gets fouled by Banner.
So defensively there, the Sky able to work in traffic. Jones is trying to cut through in the lane. She has been able this quarter so far to get some footwork and a better angle on Cardoso in the low post. That's rewarded with points for her. On that last possession, she was on the move. Cardoso had active hands. She ends up losing the ball, and that's why it went the other way for the Sky.
Williams ends up getting awarded, or at least given the steal, but her and Cardoso both there, active hands, really clogging up the lane, not making it easy for this Dream team to score the points in the paint that they want to do. Now, meanwhile, here comes Gray on the drive, trying to take on Allen. She comes up short with the baseline-ish layup on the right side. Now here comes Bannon bringing the ball up. Bannon finds Cardoso on the left side, and Cardoso can't get it to go. Tyler Marsh jumped 2 feet off the ground as he thought that one was going in. Here come the Dream pushing pace, and it's Gray driving on the left side, and a foul is called. And one opportunity for Alicia Gray and the Dream.
Yeah, Alicia Gray, she's one of the best two-way players in the league, and you see why here. Just able to cut through the lane with that effortless in the left hand. Able to get the end one, but Tyler Marsh was all of us wanting to see again the two-woman game with Bantam and Cardoso, and the feeds were perfect. Just that finish, just not quite there, millimeters away.
Gray hits the free throw, one of the best players in the league this season, averaging nearly 19 points per game, top 5 in scoring, and leads the league in made three-pointers. Here come the Sky. Allen with the ball. Sends it to the right side to Bantam. Bantam gets it back from Cardoso. Bantam dribbles it back out. Now she feeds Cardoso again down low. Cardoso driving in the lane, but an offensive foul is called. Offensive foul is called, and Sky head coach Tyler Marsh is beyond frustrated.
He just got a tee. He got teed up.
And he is going to be given a technical foul.
And he's having to be held back.
He is being held back. Head coach Tyler Marsh furious about an offensive foul call as Cardoso received a feed inside. She was right in the middle of the paint with 2 defenders on her. She went up with it, made contact with Jordan Canada, and was called for the offensive foul.
And I'm trying to figure out why. That seemed fairly incidental given the possession. Was it a footwork issue? Like, we're trying to see her. Steps on Nia Coffey's left foot here.
So that's where the offensive foul came from, stepping on Nia Coffey's foot as Cardoso was in the middle of the paint with 2 defenders on her, just trying to go up with it. Now, Alicia Gray makes the one free throw from the technical call, so it's 45-40, Dream lead the Sky, and it's Dream ball. Paopao now with it, finds Hillman on the right side. Paopao gets it back, swinging it around the horn. Walker Kimbrough on the dribble, driving on the left side, and she draws the foul. Sky players visibly frustrated as Rebecca Allen could not believe the call.
But I don't think you can do that in these moments. And I completely understand it's a normal reaction. But when you see your coach get teed up like that, I think they're going to be very quick to come back to the whistle again. Knowing what we know about the history of the refereeing and WNBA players right now, seems like a likely outcome.
Allen just called for her second.
Do you want it to be players versus refs in the third quarter? No.
Tell you what, the refs always win. In my opinion, if you want to go up against them 1v1, they will call everything.
Just seeing how quick the tee was called too, the technical on Tyler Marsh.
Yeah, like you said, I just don't think you want to make it that kind of game. Well, it's Sky ball once again. 47-40, 7-point lead for the Dream. Here's Cardoso in the paint. Gets it back out to Uzun into the game. Uzun on the right side on the dribble. 6 on the shot clock. Uzun spinning. Tough shot in the paint. Makes it a 5-point game. 4:20 to go in the third quarter, 47-42. Dream lead the Sky. Hillman has the ball on the right side, guarded by Cardoso. Hillman out to Gray. Gray with Banham on her hip. Gray goes up with the layup, too strong. Ball flying around, and it's brought under control by Nia Coffey with the Dream. Coffey gets out to Walker Kimbrough. Back to Hillman. Hillman finds a cutting Coffey in the lane, and she draws the foul.
The Sky's done a good job keeping Naz Hillman quiet in this game, by the way. She had a wonderful game in the Dreams win over the Mystics. She had 14 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. Just stuffing the stat sheet. And she had a couple threes as well. They've really countered her attack so far.
Hillman scored 14 or more points in the last 4 straight games. Coach Smesko has talked about just how confident she is. And it's just been pointed out that Northwestern head coach Joe McEwen is in attendance here as his former player, Nia Coffey, the Northwestern grad, is on the floor. It's always good to see Coach Joe in attendance.
Yeah, we've seen him at a couple
times here. He always makes sure to come out when his former players are in town playing the Sky. 9 on the shot clock, though, as Atkins is on the dribble. Atkins back to Westbeld beyond the arc on the left side. Westbeld feeds Cardoso down low. Cardoso backing down Hillman. Cardoso lays it up off the glass.
She was relentless on that possession. Stayed boxed out, asked for the ball you man, and it worked.
49-44, Dream lead the Sky. Missed shot on the left side from Walker Kimbrough leads to another opportunity for the Sky. Here's Westbeld with plenty of time beyond the arc. She misses almost everything. It might have just clipped the front iron. Now here comes Gray speeding up the other side, and Gray gives it away. Atkins with a steal. Up ahead to Nurse. Nurse lays it in on the break. The Sky right back in this thing. 49-46.
Nurse gave it her all there. All just hustling to make sure that layup was there. Kept the pace.
Some rim running action for Nurse as she just checked in moments ago, but it's too easy for the Dream as Tahina Paopao gets to the basket on the right side. 51-46. Left side, trying to get it to Cardoso. Brought back under control by Westbeld after taking a deflection. Now here comes Uzum dribbling on the right side, and she is fouled. Foul called on Gray, her first, team's third. It was called on the ground.
So a little bit of what we saw there on that.
It looks like it may have been continuation, as it looks like Uzum is heading. Okay, it will be out of play. It looked like she was maybe heading to the free throw line. She is the free throw line, but just as a part of the designed out of bounds play. So there we go.
Fair enough.
Now here's the inbounds to Westbeld. It's deflected, taken away by Coffey. Coffey racing towards the basket, lays it up and in. Out with the Sky we're looking for, out of bounds. This Coffey just gets out into the passing lane. Now here comes Atkins. It's 53-46. Dream lead, 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Atkins on the dribble on the right side. Atkins cross court to Westbeld. Westbeld now on the left side. Hits the floater. 5-point game. Sky back in it. Under 2 to go in the third. Coffey on the dribble on the right side. Coffey to Walker Kimbrough. Walker Kimbrough on the dribble. A little bit of a fake, rises up and puts in a beautiful shot from the free throw line. Westbeld now bringing it up the floor. Westbeld to Atkins on the left side. Westbeld sets the screen for Atkins. She's behind it. Back onto Nurse. Well beyond the arc. Nurse to Cardoso, top of the key. Cardoso sets the screen for Uzum. Uzum trying to get something up in the paint with just 5 on the shot clock. She misses. Here comes the Dream. Coffey now pushing pace. Coffey up ahead, and Coffey puts it up for 2. 9-point lead for the Dream, their largest of the game.
That rallies the Dream bench. Everybody on their feet to cheer her on.
Huge third quarter for the Dream here has given them a comfortable lead as Atkins gets it in the paint and says, maybe not so comfortable. 7-point ball game here. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Walker Kimbrough gets it off to Coffey. Coffey to Paopao. Paopao around the screen. Paopao on the dribble, pulls it back out. Coffey on the left side beyond the arc. Coffey on the drive, spinning, working on Westbeld, up in the lane, and there's a whistle. Westbeld does get called for the foul, her second. Caught some arm there as Coffey went up with it in the paint.
Kamila Cardoso getting a bit of rest here as she walks off. She's had 27 minutes so far. One of the things I want to point out too, Kylan, is how she's also, as you see, calling some of the plays here for the Sky. You know, she called for the movement on Westbeld underneath the bucket.
I mean, I think it's great to see that type of leadership coming from Cardoso as she increases her comfortability, not just in the WNBA, but with this team. You got to keep in mind, she's just a second-year player, 6'7" center out of Brazil, so she's also in a foreign country, although, of course, she went to South Carolina, was a two-time national champion there, the NCAA Final Four most outstanding player in 2024, but continuing to blossom here in her journey in the W. Now starting to take a leadership role with the Sky offense. Uzun with a great pass. Wow, Williams finishes the play. Uzun on the drive, a little behind the back, no look to Williams, who finishes the play in the paint. Really, really crafty work there from the newcomer to the Sky. 5-second differential now between the game clock and shot clock. 13 seconds to go in the quarter. 6 on the shot clock. Bree Jones goes up with it down low on the right side. She's guarded by Westbeld and Williams, and a foul is called on Williams. Williams second. 10.1 on the clock here in this third quarter. And Jones will go to the line for 2.
So it's 5 team fouls for the Sky compared to 3 for the Dream. I think that's where you're seeing a lot of the stoppage of the momentum for the Sky as well. But still hanging with them with this being an 8-point game.
Jones hits the first free throw. Another player who's not been super effective as she now has 8 points, but led the team against the Mystics in their last game with 23. Here comes Uzun. Her shot misses. The Dream bring in the rebound, and there's the buzzer. No opportunity to get a shot off for the visitors, but it's 60-52 after a huge third quarter for the Dream. They lead the Sky here at Wintrust Arena. We'll step aside before fourth quarter action. This is Sky Basketball on the Score.
Lawrence Holmes here. We're talking Chicago sports on Spiegel and Holmes afternoons 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Allie S. asks, how many devices can my Wi-Fi handle?
That's an easy one, Allie. The average home has more devices than ever.
But our gateways are engineered to handle hundreds.
So not only will they work today,
they'll also work tomorrow.
That's our new intern.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Power all your devices with fast, reliable Xfinity Internet for just $30 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff.
Oh, this Bosch motor saw really is smooth. Feeling smooth. Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity motor saw.
So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then? Now you're getting it.
Beep-bop, beat-up, wow, motor saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan today, 630-360-9000. That's 630-360-9000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The Sky are are looking for a rally here in fourth quarter action against the Dream. It's the visitors with a 60-52 lead at Wintrust Arena as we welcome you back to Sky Basketball on the Score. Layla Rahimi and Kylan Mills, your fans on their feet at Wintrust Arena on this Thursday night. But the wheels fell off seemingly for the Sky in that third quarter as they were outscored 30-18 after leading at the half. What changed and what needs to change for the Sky to get back on track in this fourth quarter?
We just saw such a fluidity and a consistent pace, and I feel like it really established offensive plan for the Sky for the first two quarters. I almost wonder if you told them there was no halftime and they just kept going, would that have been more productive? Credit, of course, to the Dream and their head coach, Carl Semesco, for making halftime adjustments. He had a fabulous record as a head coach in college. He was 8th overall in total wins with 672, and he only had 137 losses as a head coach. The guy knows what he's doing. But as far as the Sky are concerned, pace of play slows. You have different substitutions, and I think, unfortunately, that's what led to the fouls and the whistles, and just a completely different game for them in the third quarter.
Uzun into the game, bringing the ball up with Banham as we're now underway here in the fourth quarter. 9 on the shot clock for the Sky. Williams cutting from the right side. Williams with a hard drive to the basket and a big two for the Sky. 60-54, the Sky right back in this thing to start off this fourth quarter. Here comes Canada, though, looking for the response for the Dream. Dribbling on the left side. Canada into the paint. Canada working on Uzun and draws the foul.
And that's part of it, too. You know, we saw a little bit of that breaking through in the second quarter. The Dream had play at a slightly faster pace than the Sky do. So then, if you're the Sky, I could see why the tendency would be to match the pace because it's similar. But that little extra difference, especially with a pace setter like Canada, works in the Dream's favor. And you saw that really play out in the third.
It's interesting because the Dream actually are one of the slowest teams in the W in terms of possessions per game. But I think they realized, especially with how good the Sky defense was early, that they were not able to penetrate. So they were trying to get out and get after the Sky before they really get set. And it worked. I feel like when you mentioned Canada started bringing the ball up with a little bit more gusto.
Well, and what's funny is that hasn't been the case when they've met up. When the Sky and the Dream have met up, it was 88-70 Dream in the first meeting. It was 93-80 in the second, 86-49 in that third game.
Sky underway now. Westbell gets the ball on the right block. She is blocked. Now here come the Dream. And it's a quick three-point shot attempt from Hillman. Off iron. Nurse with the board, brings it up, gets it off to Uzun. Uzun now calling out the offense. Gets it to Williams, who's beyond the arc. Williams off to Banham, then sets the screen. Banham on the dribble on the left side. Banham to Uzun. Uzun now going to the right side. Uzun with the DHO action. Uzun on the dribble inside the paint. Rises up and gets the floater to fall. 6-point game here with 8:34 to go in the fourth. Sky going to make this one come down to the wire, it would appear. Here comes Canada. Canada with a quick change of pace on the right side, and a foul is called, and one for Jordan Canada and the Dream.
Just seeing slightly more successful finishes at the rim. That little bit of pace you talk about, just slightly more slow, a little bit higher. Elizabeth Williams hasn't gotten hers to fall recently. It can go both ways for each team, but you see that happen with the Dream and the finish there for Canada.
Canada so crafty on the dribble. Really a tough defensive matchup with the way that we just saw she had a little hesitation. Slow down, speed up is all that it takes with how quick that she is. She's now into double figures in scoring with 12 points as she hits the free throw. 9-point lead once again for the Dream. Here comes Banham on the dribble on the right side. Banham takes it herself, and Banham lays it up and in with some force. Banham having herself a game now with 13 points.
5 of 8 shooting. That was another reason why I used that backspin off the glass there to her advantage.
Hillman now with the ball on the right side beyond the arc for the Dream. Hillman driving on Uzun, and a foul is called. Uzun on the floor. And there's a holding foul on Uzun. Sefki Uzun called for the foul. The fans are making their thoughts known with some loud boos ringing out right now at Wintrust Arena.
And you're watching it, the replay, it makes it tough to find what it is. You could argue it was just her arms up, not for very long, that would cause that to be a foul on the other side.
So it's free throw opportunities coming as Hillman sinks the first. 7-point lead here for the Dream. Hillman with 4 points, 7 boards, 1 assist tonight. Make that 5 points as she sinks the second free throw. Banham bringing the ball up on the left side. Banham coming around to screen set by Williams. Banham pulls up beyond the arc, and Banham sinks the three-point shot.
And the Sky bench is asking for a foul because she was hit there and then fell back. She fell on the ground.
Took some contact on her landing and went down. No whistle. 5-point game, though. Sky very quickly cut into that 9-point deficit. Here comes Canada on the dribble. Canada in the paint on the right side. Canada gets it back out to Jones. Jones tries it from beyond the arc. Can't get it to go. Rebound brought in by Hillman. Hillman back out to Canada. Canada swishes a 3-point shot. Deep ball makes it an 8-point game. Dream lead with 7:15 to go. Banham bringing the ball up again for the Sky. Banham off to Williams on the left side beyond the arc. Williams hands it off to Atkins. Atkins on the dribble. Atkins step back. Can't get it to go. Jones the board. Jones up ahead to Canada. Canada pushing pace. Canada trying to get a nifty pass to go through to Hillman, who was cutting to the basket, but it's last touch by Hillman, who could not quite get it under control. And Jordan Canada taps her chest and says, "My bad. The idea was there. The execution maybe was not." Under 7 to go. 8-point lead for the Dream. Banham bringing the ball up for the Sky. Banham guarded by Pow Pow. Banham gets the switch. Now she's got Canada on her. Banham to Atkins. Atkins on the dribble on the left side. Atkins around a screen set by Cardoso. Atkins on the left side. It's taken away. Stolen. But it's thrown right back away again. Sky basketball. Cardoso gets it down low and tries to go up with it, and a foul is called. Jones committing the foul, it looked like. But a chaotic sequence there, as it was initially a steal by the Dream. As they tried to throw the pass up ahead, it was taken right back away by the Sky. Now it's Sky ball on the baseline. And there's a foul called before the ball could even get in play. Banham goes to ground. She's being helped up by Kia Nurse. Foul is called on Naz Hillman, rather, her third. 6:30 to go. 69-61 Dream lead. Banham with the opportunity at the free throw line. Her free throw is not on, which is extremely rare. Banham coming into this game was shooting nearly 94.5% from the charity stripe. Atkins now with the baseline inbounds. Atkins to Banham. Banham on the shot that comes up short, gets fouled.
If it doesn't work, try it again. Draw contact. She did the right thing. You know, she just got back up after, I think she was fouled there, shooting the three. Gets up, draws the contact again, gets to the stripe. And this time, it's good. Banham leading the Sky with 17 points. Now, she doesn't miss a single free throw often. She definitely doesn't miss 2 in a row, almost ever. So, not surprised to see these two go down for Rachel Banham, as she's quietly leading the Sky in this game now with 18 points, 69-63. Dream on top. Canada calls her own number, pulls up beyond the arc, rattles out. O-board brought in by the Dream, and Pow Pow hits the second three-point shot attempt. 72-63, 9-point lead now for the Dream. 6:08 to go in the fourth. Atkins on the dribble on the left side, coming around a screen by Cardoso. Atkins out to Nurse. Nurse gets a dribble handoff from Williams. Feeds it back down to Williams, cutting towards the basket. Williams finds Atkins trying the corner three, but it's off iron. Here comes Canada, once again sprinting up the floor. Canada with the Euro step. Jordan Canada on fire for the Dream, and there is a timeout on the floor, as the Dream now a double-digit lead, 74-63. This is Sky basketball on the score.
Marshall Harris here. We're talking Chicago sports on the Rahimi and Harris Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 on 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Speed, power, precision. That's what you want on the court and behind the wheel. At Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha, we bring the heat with the Subaru A Lot to Love event. No over-the-top markups, no downtown drama, just real deals and a team that respects your time. Take the short drive north and discover how car buying should feel. Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha, your one-stop shop for everything Subaru. Check it out now at ZieglerSubaruKenosha.com.
Everything comes down to how you finish, and the wall covering, drywall finishing, signage, glass systems, and painting contractors at FinishingChicago.com always produce a hit. Chicago's top general contractors and property managers rely on Finishing Chicago's industrial and commercial contractors to provide the most well-trained, safety-focused, and reliable crews. Before starting work on your next job site, check out their website, FinishingChicago.com, your free resource to find quality finishing contractors.
Proud partner of Cubs Radio.
Hey parents, it's David Hall in Chicago. As the new school year kicks off, you've got a lot on your plate. And if you're like most, you appreciate knowing what to expect, especially when it comes to your monthly bills. Well, Verizon has some big news that will bring you serious peace of mind. For the first time ever, they're locking in low prices for 3 years. That's right, 3 years guaranteed with my plan. Right now, you can get a single line for a low price of just $50 a month when you switch and bring your phone on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. And again, that amazing price is locked in for 3 whole years because at Verizon, they've got your back now and in the future. So go ahead, take one big thing off your back-to-school worry list. Visit your local Verizon store in Chicago. Do it today and ask about the 3-year price guarantee. Get ready for a smooth, connected school year. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower with other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
The Backstreet Boys are on in Wintrust Arena, and Layla Rahimi is showing me her moves. And let me tell you, folks at home, she's got some moves. So I guess you just have to watch the midday show because they do a visual stream to go with the radio broadcast on 670 The Score. And now I guess you're going to have to show the Backstreet Boys dance off tomorrow.
Twitch.tv/Chicago 670 The Score. It really started with our TV counterparts and Shimmy doing the dance before the game, and then we had to dance with her in solidarity as a broadcast crew.
And then there was kind of a dance-off, radio versus TV broadcasters. Our friends Lisa Byington and Shimmy Miller, of course, calling the game on WCIU. We're all friends here. We're all supporting Sky basketball. But when it comes to a dance battle, we're not going to mess around. And Layla and I have got the Backstreet Boys moves down, to say the least. The Sky, though, with some work to do, trailing by 11 here with 5.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Elizabeth Williams gets a feed inside to get things going here after the break. And the ball goes out of play. It's going to be Sky basketball. She went up with it and missed, and it bobbled around after going off iron. But the Sky get to keep it here.
Shimmy could teach me some basketball stuff, that's for sure.
And you can teach her
the choreography for the 25-year-old video in exchange.
Yes. That's what needs to happen. Cardoso gets the feed off the baseline. She misses the lay-in. Here comes Canada speeding down the floor. Canada off to Pau Pau. Pau Pau back to Hillman. Hillman to Gray. Gray on the dribble, coming off a screen from Jones. A nicely set screen, and Gray buries the three-point shot. 14-point lead now for the Dream, their largest of the game, with 5:11 to go in the fourth. Atkins off to Cardoso. Cardoso to Uzun. Uzun on the dribble. Coming around a screen on the right side by Cardoso. Gets it right back to Cardoso. Layup comes up short once again. A theme there during the last couple possessions for the Sky. Now here comes Canada bringing the ball up the floor. Shakes off the screen by Jones. Canada dribbling in on the left side, and it's batted away, rolls out of play. It is called Dream basketball. Sky players can't believe it. Cardoso's pointing at Marsh, wanting a challenge. And he just points, play on, and we will. Pau Pau inbounding the ball for the Dream. Pau gets it in Jones. Pau Pau gets it right back. Pau Pau pulls up on the elbow. Too strong. Ban him the board.
See a couple of South Carolina players on the floor in Cardoso and Pau Pau. And I want to ask you what you like about just how both of them have been trained and prepared to be in the W.
There's a foul called on the far side. Hillman showing some frustration. Sorry, I always got to be calling the game, Layla. I'm a true play. Tell you what, though, if there's anyone who knows how to train and get players ready for the W and being a professional when it comes to basketball, it is Dawn Staley. That's for sure. And you see players come out of South Carolina time and time again that go on to have long, successful careers in the WNBA. And they also know what it's like to be a part of winning basketball in terms of a program that is a championship contender year after year. Definitely a major advantage to have that type of preparation at the collegiate level. 14-point lead here for the Dream as they have possession once again with 4:05 to go. 77-63 the score. Canada with 5 on the shot clock. Canada calls her own number way offline. And it is a shot clock violation because that missed 3 did not touch rim.
I can't tell if she was calling her own number. She was trying to feed a cutting Hillman, who was also calling for the ball. The play did not work. But I bring
if you can't tell if it's a shot or pass, needless to say it's a broken play.
Shoot or shoot. You know, that's how I feel about it. That is not philosophy from Dawn Staley. That is every shooter I've ever seen in the league. But I bring that up because that program is so prevalent in the W right now.
Yep.
And when we see how it's working for players, both veterans, both younger veterans, and then also rookies who are able to make a difference on a team that wants to be in the playoffs, like the Dream.
Uzun tries a 3-ball too strong. Another opportunity for the Dream. I'm just laughing, Layla, because I can't get over your comment. I've never had a problem with not eating.
These are the facts. My credit card statement does reflect Sunda and many other places in Chicago.
Listen, I've got a plate full of chicken strips next to me, so there is no judgment passed here as there's a timeout on the floor. The Sky trail by 16 here with 3:19 to go in the fourth quarter. I've never had a problem with not eating either. This is Sky Basketball on the score.
Camila Cardoso plays here.
Camila Cardoso under the basket who puts it up for 2.
On Chicago's Sports Radio, 670 The Score, and the free Odyssey app.
Women's sports are on the rise, and the Chicago Sky are leading the charge. Just like the Sky, the Village of Bedford Park is building a winning future as the official economic development partner of the Chicago Sky. With a prime location, access to a safe and reliable Lake Michigan water supply, and a pro-business mindset, Bedford Park is a smart move for growing companies. Ready to rise up? Visit villageofbedfordpark.com and discover why success starts here.
Now's the time to save big on your summer projects with hot deals at Menards. You'll find great sale prices on select styles of patio block, siding, shingles, and steel roofing. Plus a great selection of pressure-treated lumber, perfect for your outdoor building projects. Stop in today before summer, and all the hot deals are gone. Plus, sign up for Menards emails to get the weekly flyer and exclusive daily flash sales right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Confidence is the greatest gift you can give a child. That's why the Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago offer programs like Healthy Habits to give kids the confidence they need right now and all the moments from right now. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago, a club for life.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner & Rowe today. 708-222-2222.
Call 222-2222. Jonathan Voss, managing attorney, 113 East Cermak, Chicago. Some work may be performed by or referred to other attorneys.
To go here at Wintrust Arena. The Sky trailed the Dream by 16, the largest lead of the night for the visitors. And the fact that the Dream have done this without 2 of their stars, Brittany Griner and Ryan Howard, who was a WNBA All-Star but ended up not being able to play in the game just a couple weeks back. And you have some ties to Brittany Griner, Layla, that you've been waiting to get into the broadcast all night long. So please do share.
It is a cool thing when you get to be able to watch somebody's career from hearing about the legend of Brittany Griner when she was in high school for Aldine Nimitz back in Texas. And I had to film the state championship game where her team was playing for the title. And for Brittany Griner,
As Camila Cardoso puts up 2 points for the Sky. Cardoso into double figures in scoring now with 12.
But for Brittany Griner to be able to sell out the Irwin Center, which was University of Texas's arena at the time, it was standing room only to watch her dunk in warm-ups. People were screaming. Everybody wanted to see her play.
Hillman gets the 2-point answer for the Dream.
So she had this legend going back all the way to high school where everyone from near and far wanted to see what she could do. Men's coaches, women's coaches, boys coaches, girls coaches, teams, everybody wanted to see it. And she delivered. She was able to do it. She made it look effortless. Then she goes to Baylor and really helps put Kim Mulkey's program on the map in a way that it hadn't been before. They built a massive program at Baylor. We know what happens next. Kim goes to LSU and the rest is history. Angel Reese, of course, knows about what it was like to play for Kim Mulkey. But Mulkey was able to help build that national championship program at Baylor. And again, Griner was doing things that were just not heard of. You know, like Griner's games against Texas A&M would sell out at College Station. You know, the crowd would want to see Brittany Griner play. You know, Sydney Colson, I think, faced off against her at Texas A&M. But this is in places where you just didn't hear of these things happening too often. But people from near and far always wanted to see her. She delivered in high school. She delivered in college. She's one of the most decorated players in WNBA history. It's always great to watch her play. And I just think about the impact she had on so many fans because everybody just respected her game in a way that was almost unprecedented in the state of Texas at the time for a women's player.
And I know that the star that is Caitlin Clark has drawn so many eyes to the game as Banham tries a three-point shot and misses everything. But there have been so many, not just Brittany Griner, but, you know, throughout the history of basketball, so many greats before her who have been incredibly talented. But Griner was another one who really drew crowds. I think was a big thing about the point that you made. I mean, standing at 6'9", one of the first women that you really saw able to dunk on the regular. And Griner now is, as you pointed out, one of the more decorated players in this game. A 3-time Olympic gold medalist, 10-time WNBA All-Star, and a WNBA champion.
And when I think of people who mean something to the game, she is one of them. And I'm glad she's here.
It's an 18-point lead now for the Dream with 1:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Dream not taking their foot off the gas here down this last stretch as Nia Coffey just made a little 4-foot jumper. Haley Van Lith has just checked into the game for the Sky. Van Lith getting the ball right away after coming in and tries it in the paint. Her mid-range shot won't go.
Van Lith was putting a lot of work in the pregame warm-ups. I think she's still trying to develop her game, trying to be healthy. You know, she's had some issues with that ankle.
Yeah, Van Lith listed as questionable with the ankle like a day ago or so, but has been questionable the last several games. Does get in late in the game, but you do wonder if it's really at 100%. As you just pointed out. But Van Lith getting a couple of late minutes here as there's just 1 minute officially on the clock and an 18-point lead for the Dream. Taylor Theory checking in for the Dream as well, in case you have any Big Ten fans. The former Ohio State star, one of the rookies on this Dream roster, who also has been dealing with an injury listed as day-to-day with a leg injury. Became available, or was listed as available shortly before the game got underway, and she checks in. 1 minute to go here. Dream basketball. Coffey putting on a show in front of her former coach, Joe McEwen. Theory on the drive on the baseline. Gets it to Pow Pow. Kicks it out to the far side corner, and a 3-ball goes for Walker Kimbrough. 21-point lead for the Dream as we close things out at Wintrust Arena. 43 seconds to go. Van Lith checks to the ball, gets it from Banham. Gives it right back to Banham. Banham puts a shot up. Off back iron. Banham with 18 points leading the Sky. Along with 3 boards, 2 assists. Walker Kimbrough. Off to Smalls, who also has checked into the game. Kamaya Smalls, the third-year guard out of Philadelphia. Went to James Madison. Coffey tries to go up with it. Denied by Rachel Banham. 12 seconds to go here. Banham walking the ball up the floor as it's a 21-point lead for the Dream, but there's a whistle.
An item has fallen onto the court.
There was an item thrown onto the floor. There was an item thrown onto the floor.
I couldn't see what it was.
I didn't quite catch what it was, but it was very quickly covered. Quickly covered with a towel as one of the towel boys ran onto the floor to pick it up, and it was just outside of our eyesight as the buzzer now sounds, and that is going to do it for this game. 86-65 the final score. The Dream take down the Sky with a huge second half push. It really was a big third quarter, 32-18 scoring edge for the Dream that led them to this victory over the Sky. Layla Rahimi and myself are going to wrap things up here on the other side. We're going to take one quick break. We will wrap things up, and then also at the post-game show with Kate Constable coming up in just a bit. So don't go anywhere. This is Sky Basketball on the Score.
Mully here. We're talking Chicago sports on the Mully and Haw Show mornings, 5:30 to 10 on the Score. WSCR, Chicago, WBMX, HD2, Chicago. Hey, it's Mully and Haw for Window Nation. It's the end of summer here in the Chicago area, but blink and you'll be back to dealing with cold, windy days again. Time to have wind. Let the man.
Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score, an Odyssey sports station. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago.
Restaurants is celebrating 30 years. An iconic supper club serving a variety of food with something for everyone. Open for lunch, dinner, carry-out, private parties, and catering. 5 Chicago area locations. For reservations and to order online, visit wildfirerestaurant.com.
Our local hospitals are the heartbeat of our communities, delivering critical care every hour of every day for everyone, training the next generation of caregivers. Beyond the walls, their benefit to the community is everywhere, driving the local economy and supporting local organizations, initiatives, and neighbors. Illinois Hospitals, healing communities. Learn more at team-iha.org. Sponsored by the Illinois Health and Hospital Association. Aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's Mully and Haw for Window Nation. It's the end of summer here in the Chicago area, but blink and you'll be back to dealing with cold, windy days again. Time to have Window Nation replace your home's windows in 1 day or less.
Right now, get 50% off all window styles plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That makes Window Nation more affordable on average than other companies. Hurry, Chicago. This sale ends soon, so don't miss out. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90Nation or windownation.com.
Run the Abbott Chicago 5K on Saturday, October 11th to experience the excitement of Bank of America Chicago Marathon Weekend. The race takes participants on a one-of-a-kind tour through Chicago's Loop, passing sites that make up the city's unique architectural landscape. Whether you're looking to shake out your legs before the big race on Sunday or enjoy a fall run, join participants from around the world at this year's Abbott Chicago 5K. All participants receive a cozy knit hat and finisher's medal to commemorate their achievement. Learn more and register at chicago5k.com.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Welcome back to Wintrust Arena. We're wrapping things up after the Sky fall to the Dream, 86-65, the final here on this Thursday evening. Layla Rahimi and Kylan Mills here with you as we take a look back at what was a promising start for the Sky, but a third quarter collapse unfortunately leads to the loss. First, Layla, what are some of your initial big picture takeaways from what we witnessed?
Well, I mean, we talked about it. Like, the third quarter issues have been something all season for the Sky that we've kept an eye on, and head coach Tyler Marsh was asked about it in their last game where they beat the Mystics because they knew that they were going to have to be very, very strong starting in the first and second quarters in order to withstand what seemingly is a third quarter lull for them. They got outscored 32-18, as you pointed out. I feel like we saw two different games from one half to another. When I consider the pace of play, I know that Ariel Atkins, they were still very much watching her minutes. They were watching her health, and that makes sense. You know, you don't want to lose the war, so to speak, fighting the battle instead. And so a healthy Ariel Atkins is a healthier Sky team. Understandable. But when you consider how many fouls there were, what the pace of play turned into, and just not that it necessarily looked like different offenses when different players were on the court. You have to do that some to cater to your players. But when it's so different with, say, some of the two-man games and the combinations on the floor that maybe lead to what we saw as far as not just more fouls, but the Sky still working through the combos of the people on the court. I think that's when you saw a Dream team that is very much a playoff contender, even when they're down two of their best players, take advantage of that. And the offensive efficiency that they showed, the halftime adjustments they made in the third quarter, worked in their favor tenfold as a way to help seal this win, the fourth now, and they're 4-0 in this season series against the Sky.
Yeah, I think a lot of great points. I think that there can be some positivity to take away. As you pointed out, you get Ariel Atkins back, and she maybe still isn't at 100%, but does finish with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Leading the charge, though, once again for the Sky is Rachel Banham, as you've talked about different players needing to step up in different moments in light of all of the injuries that the Sky have had to deal with. Angel Reese remains out dealing with a back issue. Atkins is just back. Again, they lost Swoop back in early June. And then Onyenwere has had to miss a couple games here or there. Haley Van Lith has been listed as questionable on and off. We've seen players step up, and Rachel Banham is one of those whose numbers are up across the board. Had 4 straight games in double figures, 26 points against the Fever, and then had a couple quiet games before this one against the Mystics, just 5 points. But we've seen her step up time and time again and be someone who can lead this Sky team in scoring, and I think that is one of the positives that you can look at, is the fact that different players can lead the team in scoring on any given night. So if anything, if you're an opposing team, you can't just shut down one person on the Sky and feel confident that you've shut down the offense. I say all that to say that I do feel like slowing down Camila Cardoso in the second half was a huge reason why the Dream were able to have success, because as you've pointed out throughout the broadcast, Cardoso wasn't just scoring, but the Sky were playing through her a lot as well.
I feel like that as well. And I understand it can't just be the Camila Cardoso show.
Sure. And
it can't just be the two-woman game with Cardoso and Banham, as we saw, Cardoso and Atkins. I also want to point out that poor Elizabeth Williams, the effort was there absolutely. And she's talked about how sometimes the stats and the game don't indicate what you're actually seeing on the court. She had one of those nights tonight, only 3 for 11. And we just saw a lot of surefire buckets at the rim where the finish and the touch just wasn't there for her tonight. And that's going to happen. That is completely normal. It happens to players. And where you're just a nanosecond too quick, or maybe the ball doesn't roll through your entire hand off your fingertips, and you see that lack of the finish there, or the bucket that just doesn't fall at the rim. Was the effort there? Yes. And I feel like, was that a game where she's talking about what we're kind of seeing, where the box score is not indicative of what the actual game is? And I do feel like that is the case.
Yeah, and I mean, the box score at the end of the game would make it look like it's not a competitive game, but this was a game where the Sky were leading at the half, and they still were very much in this down to really the fourth quarter, and especially the final stretch where things really got out of hand late. Going back to your point, though, about some of the missed shots, you look at Onyenwere going 1 of 4, Williams going 3 of 11, then even Camila Cardoso, who went 6 of 12, which is not a bad stat line per se, but all 3 of those players missed shots that were at the rim. Shots that were high percentage shots where you just would like to think combined those 3 would have a much more efficient shooting night than they did. So I think there should be maybe some frustration in terms of creating good looks, but then just not getting those looks to fall.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. And that's where coaches come in, of course. And you examine just the pace at which you're playing, because we mentioned it. Dream were just a hair faster than the Sky. Well, how does that make them answer in a way where you're seeing them maybe not finish as efficiently at the bucket like we've talked about? So I feel like in that case, we saw some of that happen and unfold, especially in these third and fourth quarters.
Some other positives for the Sky. They finished with 13 turnovers, well under their season average. They did get 8 blocks, which I thought they had some really big and really nice defensive plays throughout this game. 38 points in the paint, 2 more than the Dream, and this was a team that they struggled to score inside on the last time these two teams met in July. So maybe some positives, some silver lining to take away as an adversity-filled season continues for the Sky, dealing with a lot of different injuries, players in and out of the lineup. The team's leading scorer, Angel Reese, continues to be sidelined by a back injury, and this loss to the Dream closes out a 4-game homestand for the Sky. They've got a couple matchups on the road coming up ahead. They are at the Indiana Fever and at the Connecticut Sun for their next 2 matchups. 2 days they face the Fever, and then on the 13th they will face the Sun. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Looking forward to the next Sky broadcast here on The Score, which will be on August 23rd. And in the meantime, I feel like I'm a broken record on this, but it deserves to be repeated. You are seeing progress. You are seeing progress out of a team trying to deal with a massive amount of injuries in the longest WNBA regular season ever. And I think that that's important to keep in mind when you consider what the Sky are trying to build.
Absolutely. Great points. And this is a Sky team that lost their leader in Courtney Vandersloot to the table setter. The team has talked repeatedly about not having a true point guard, which is what Sevki Uzun, their new signing, is attempting to fill some of that void. But there's no one who can really fill the shoes of Courtney Vandersloot. So I just don't think it can be understated just like how big her absence is in making everything work, because she sets up everyone around her for success offensively, and then also has the leadership abilities to calm the team both on offense and on defense. Well, that'll wrap things up for the two of us from the broadcast booth. Once again, it's the Sky falling to the Dream, 86-65 the final score here in Wintrust Arena. The Sky fall to 8-22, while the Dream improved to 19-11, sitting in third place in the WNBA standings. For Layla Rahimi, I'm Kylan Mills. We really appreciate you joining us here on 670 The Score. We're going to send things over to Kate Constable for the post-game show now. But from us, we'll say goodnight. We appreciate you joining us for Sky Basketball on The Score.
David Haw here. Talk Chicago sports with us on the Mully and Haw Show. Mornings 5:30 to 10 on Sports Radio 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
We take care of our customers every day through the big moments, the innovative upgrades, of course, the adventures too. The perfect vehicle is out there waiting to bring joy to your everyday journey. Customer satisfaction, strong warranties, and a wide selection of luxury and affordable vehicles is why car buyers trust us and keep coming back.
Taking care of you every day. That's the Patrick Promise.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture. Wow, look at you. I know, right? Went to Helzberg and customized the whole thing. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I showed them all her inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her. Well, congrats, buddy. Ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Helzberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at Helzberg.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids.
KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Welcome to the Chicago Sky Postgame Show on Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score. Brought to you in part by University of Chicago Medicine, proud exclusive medical provider for your Chicago Sky. Use Chicago Medicine at the forefront. And by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Here's Alyssa Bergamini.
The Sky now with the ball on the baseline. Banham gets it into Williams. Williams off to Onyenwere. Onyenwere to a cunning Cardoso down low. Gets it in on the right block. Cardoso having an effective game.
Welcome into the Chicago Sky postgame show here on 670 The Score. I'm Kate Constable, in tonight for Alyssa Bergamini. Sky held an 8-point lead at the half, but the Dream used a 10-0 run to start the third quarter to take their first lead of the game and never let up. They outscored Chicago 14 in the third quarter alone, 27 in the second half to cruise to a 21-point victory, completing the 4-game series sweep over Chicago this season. That highlight you just heard of Camila Cardoso, despite not getting the win, she is our player of the game. She finished with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, absolutely stuffed the stat sheet tonight. After back-to-back games in single digits, Rachel Banham, she had herself a big night with 18 points on 50% shooting from both the field and deep to lead the team in scoring. Ariel Atkins finished with 8 points in just her second game back from injury. She was, however, on a minutes restriction, did end up playing 25 minutes. Alicia Gray led the Dream in scoring with the 25-point performance. She was extremely efficient tonight, going 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep. Fellow guard Jordan Canada was quiet in the first half, but she really came alive in the second half. Added 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. Between her coming alive in the second half and Camila Cardoso slowing down in the second half, that was part of the difference in this ball game tonight. Taheen Paopao finished with 12 points for the Dream, while Brianna Jones added 8 for Atlanta. Naz Hillman had a huge impact in the previous 2 games against Chicago, but she was quiet tonight in terms of scoring. She had just 7 points on the night, 5 of those coming from the free throw line, but she was the team's leading rebounder with 11 boards. The Sky held a slight advantage in points in the paint. However, it's those turnovers that continue to be the downfall for Chicago, or I should say, rather, the points off of those turnovers that were the downfall. Chicago turned the ball over 13 times, actually fewer than Atlanta did, but gave up 15 points off of those turnovers. A hard-fought game here in Chicago, but the Sky unable to get the job done. They lose to Atlanta for the 4th time this season with a final score of 86-65. I'm Kate Constable. Stick with us here on 670 The Score as we wrap things up from Wintrust Arena next.
We're talking Chicago sports on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, baseball fans, Friday, August 15th from 7 to 9 p.m., head to Coombs Corner in Lockport after the game. Meet Ron Coomer, enjoy Yuengling bucket specials, and score some Yuengling swag. Don't miss the post-game party at Coombs Corner with Yuengling, oldest brewery in America.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It was a tale of two halves tonight here in Chicago at Wintrust Arena. You're listening to Chicago Sky basketball on The Score. Chicago played complimentary ball in the first half, had a lead at the half, but that third quarter continues to be one of the downfalls for Chicago this season. And Atlanta, well, they took over in the second half and did not let up at all. The Dream took home the 86-65 win tonight here at Wintrust Arena, sweeping the Sky in the 4-game season series, winning each of those games by double digits. They also earned their 4th straight win, currently sitting 3rd in the WNBA standings behind only New York and Minnesota right now. Rachel Banham, your leading scorer for Chicago, 18 points, knocking down 3 triples. Alicia Gray led the way for the Dream with 25 points, and Jordan Canada backed her up with 17. We'll get into the Sky's upcoming schedule here shortly, but the Dream, they're going to be back in action on Sunday. They continue a short 3-game road trip, game 1 being here in Chicago. They now head to Phoenix, where they'll play the Mercury on Sunday before wrapping things up in Seattle next Wednesday. We'll take a look around the league. We had a small 3-game slate in the W tonight. The Sky and Dream kicking off action this evening. Head over to L.A., where the Connecticut Sun are playing the L.A. Sparks for the 3rd and final meeting between these two teams. Both of the two previous contests, and came into tonight's game having won 2 straight and 4 of their last 5. 2 of Connecticut's 5 wins on the season, however, have come in the last 2 weeks, but they still sit in the bottom of the league standings. Currently, the Sparks are tied with Connecticut right now, 19 points apiece with just about 2 minutes left in the first quarter. The Fever are in Phoenix tonight playing the Mercury. The two teams played back on July 30th with the Fever taking home a 6-point win. Caitlin Clark was sidelined for that game and continues to be out again tonight with no timetable for her return. The Mercury entered tonight sitting 6th place in the league, with the Fever just a game back in 7th. As of right now, the Mercury are up 26-14 on Indiana. That first quarter just seconds away from coming to a close. After tonight, these two teams will meet one more time. That game also being played in Phoenix to round out the season series. Well, speaking of the Fever, the Sky are back in action on Saturday when they travel to Indiana to take on the Fever, which is one of 2 remaining matchups with Indiana this season. So far, they've played 3 times this year. Indiana has taken all 3 of those matchups. That game is the first of a short 2-game road trip for Chicago as they head to Connecticut immediately after that one. They'll then return home for a 2-game homestand where they'll host the Golden State Valkyries and Seattle Storm. You'll have a chance to catch 2 more Sky games right here on 670 The Score. Those games will come at the end of the month. The next Sky broadcast here coming your way August 23rd against the Connecticut Sun and August 25th against the Las Vegas Aces. That's going to do it for us here from Wintrust Arena. For Kylan Mills and Layla Rahimi on the call, our producer Alex Dzinski, and our engineer Rich Wyatt, I'm Kate Constable. Thanks for listening to Chicago Sky Basketball on The Score.
This has been a presentation of Chicago Sky Basketball on Sports Radio 670 The Score and the Odyssey app. Brought to you in part by Magellan Corporation, a specialty steel company with a heart of gold and proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. University of Chicago Medicine, proud exclusive medical provider for your Chicago Sky. U Chicago Medicine, at the forefront. And by the Village of Bedford Park, proud economic development partner of the Chicago Sky, bringing your business home to Bedford Park. For more information, visit villageofbedfordpark.com.
We now join the Infinity Sports Network, already in progress on 670 The Score.
Now is gone. So one of the better centers in the league is gone. And I think that offensive line takes a step back. I love the skill position players, I love Jamison Williams and St. Brown, really like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. But now, more outdoor games, different play caller. I have some serious concerns about the defensive side of the ball for the Lions. I love Aiden Hutchinson, but he's coming back from a broken leg, man. And even with him on the field last year and his leading pressure rate, they still didn't generate any pressure. So I thought last year was the year for the Lions, dude. Just like how 3 years ago or 2 years ago now, I thought it was the year for the Ravens. You had a historically good defense, and you got the Chiefs at home, and you still couldn't get the job done because even though you were running the ball for 6 yards per carry, you dropped Lamar back 35 times in cold weather. Same situation for the Lions, man. Last year, you won 15 games. Jared Goff didn't have to play outdoors in cold weather. You got to play in a dome at home in Detroit, and you wet the bed against a rookie quarterback, against a bad defense in the Commanders. So I'm out on Detroit. And then with the Rams, Stafford had an epidural yesterday. He's got a bad back, and he's going to be 38 years old, dude. I love Devontae Adams. He's 32 years old. I love McVay, but he's only a coach. And if Stafford's out, he can't go back him up. That's Jimmy Garoppolo. Remember how it ended with Jimmy Garoppolo and Devontae Adams the first time? Puka Nacua's going to ball out. Kyron Williams, if he stays healthy, is going to ball out. I like the defensive side of the ball. They hit on all their picks. Jared Verse could be a double-digit sack guy for years to come. But I like too many teams in that division, man. I think San Francisco's back as long as the defense isn't a mess. And I don't think that's going to be the case, even if they don't have the horses, because Robert Saleh, while not a very good head coach, is a good coordinator. I'm high on Arizona. And then you have Seattle, who's the ultimate wild card, because I am a believer in Mike McDonald, and I think the defense could be top 10, maybe even better. But how good is Sam Darnold going to be when he doesn't have the same offensive line that he had in Minnesota, when he doesn't have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson, and Kevin O'Connell, a very underrated play caller and the coach of the year, calling the play. So I'm out on the Rams and the Lions, like as far as like hype, and them winning the Super Bowl or being contenders. I don't think either team wins 12 games. I don't think either team finishes as a top 2 seed. Maybe I'm crazy, though.
Monty put in the chat, and this is a great question. Would you bet the Rams to miss the playoffs at plus 120?
I would. Yeah. I mean, let's say Stafford. I mean, right now it's hard to trust that Stafford's going to make it through 14 games. And if he can't, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo's a reliable option for 2 to 3 weeks. But I don't think you're winning the division or making the playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo in the year 2025. Something happens to him, it's Stetson Bennett. I like Stetson Bennett when he's playing against Sonny Dykes and TCU. I don't really like Stetson Bennett, when he's facing off against Steve Spagnuolo in the Chiefs defense, or Harbaugh, in the Ravens defense. So, yeah, I mean, again, though, dude, like, if they stay healthy and this is just whatever and Stafford's out there, they can win the Super Bowl. Like, legitimately, they could win the Super Bowl. They're the ultimate boomer bust team. Because they are old. Like, right. Stafford's old. Devontae's getting older. Puka's young. Kyron's young. But they got a bunch of old pieces. And the defense overexceeded all expectations last year. That's what scares me a little bit about the Rams, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. They are boomer bust. It's hard for me to pick against McVay, though, right? When you have a coach like that, same thing with Minnesota, right? Like Kevin O'Connell. Like, you want to be down on them this year, but you just don't know if you can because you don't know what J.J. McCarthy's going to be, and you don't know what Kevin O'Connell is going to do with them. But I am with you wholeheartedly on the Lions. They were my last lame as well. I just think that with all of their losses, not only with the coordinator, but I just think that they're looking at a schedule, right, with the defenses that they're going to face, and you look at it and you're like, oh man, they're in trouble. And if Jared Goff isn't the best version of Jared Goff that we've seen in a long time, this team might not win 8 games this year. And I know that's a drastic drop off, but I mean, not to mention the defenses that are in their division, right? Because we know the Packers are a good defense. We know the Bears are a rebounding defense, but they've got a very talented defense. And we know that the Vikings have a good defense. But when you're talking about, you have to play against the Ravens, the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers. You have to play against the Commanders, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Steelers. You know what I mean? They've got some really, really good defenses on this schedule. And I think that they're in a lot of trouble. I think that people are going to see how big of a deal having Ben Johnson and having, oh great, I want to forget his name now. head coach now over with the Jets. Why can't I think of his name?
Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn. You lose those two coordinators, and you're going to see how big of a deal that was, especially with a coach like Dan Campbell, who loves to do things that puts your football team in bad situations because he does gamble a lot. Like, that's why he gets the nickname Dan Gamble. He does things that a lot of coaches wouldn't do, and he puts his team in bad situations. And when you don't have an offense that can score at will like they have been able to in the last couple of years, and when you don't have a defense that can just shut people down, it's going to be a problem, and I think you're really going to see that this year. So I'm very down on the Lions with you this year.
Yeah, if I had to choose between the two teams, man, the Rams or the Lions to bet to miss the playoffs, I would go with the Lions because of what you just said. I don't know, like Dan Campbell, that rah-rah stuff is awesome when you're 6-1, but what about when you're 2-4, right? Like our guy, and again, like the fourth down decision making, we love the aggressive play calling and stuff like that, but when it goes south, it goes south. Here's another one I'm going to throw at you, man. And I know that this kind of contradicts what I was talking about a couple segments ago with Brad. I know he's really high on Bo Nix. And as a fantasy option, I think he could be a top 10 quarterback, but I bet the under on his passing touchdowns at 24.5. And I'll tell you why, man. He's going to play a top 10 schedule of pass defenses in 2025. So again, Bo Nix projected to play a top 10 most difficult schedule of pass defenses coming up this year. The Broncos might have the best defense in the league. They led the league in EPA per play. They were second in yards per play and success rate allowed, meaning they're not going to be in a whole lot of shootouts. And they have 5 running backs that could be the guy, right? Like they have RJ Harvey, dude. They have J.K. Dobbins. And they have a top 5 rated offensive line. So do you really want to drop back Bo Nix 30, 35 times a game? He's a really good athlete. So fantasy purposes, he could use his legs. He could rush for 400, 500 yards. Maybe 6 or 7 touchdowns. But again, he's playing a top 10 most difficult schedule of pass defenses. The Broncos themselves have Sean Payton as a play caller. We know he likes to use his running backs, a really good defense. And now defensive coordinators have an entire year of film on Bo Nix, dude. He doesn't have the strongest arm. It's a lot of dinking and dunking. I don't know that he gets to 25 touchdown passes, man. So I'm going to go under 24.5 touchdown passes. If he plays the full season, I think the number should be closer to 22.5, 23.5. So, again, I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying Denver's going to miss the playoffs, but I keep hearing everybody hype up Bo Nix, man, and I'm like, I feel like I'm higher on J.J. McCarthy and Drake May if we're talking second-year quarterbacks, to be honest with you, man. I mean, much better than we all expected last year, but I'm going under 24.5. Throw me another lane.
Well, if we would have done our quarterback rankings based off of fantasy yesterday, you probably would have thought I was crazy because I have Bo Nix in my top 5. Because I'm very high. I mean, sometimes I wonder these strength of schedules. I wonder who puts them up against it, right? Because you're going to see the Titans. You're going to see the Colts. You're going to see the Jets. You're going to see the Giants. You're going to see the Raiders. Like, I think that he's got a lot of room in his schedule to actually have some very solid games, some games where he's passing for over 350, 400 yards, and he could be throwing for 3 or 4 touchdowns. Now, I don't know if he's going to get to the 25 touchdown mark. I don't know if I'm betting that, but I do think that he's going to have a very good season, especially when it comes to fantasy wise, because I think he's a prototypical Sean Payton quarterback. I think I'm not saying he's Drew Brees, so calm down when I say this, but I think he's got a lot of the same Drew Brees qualities. And I think that that's what people are seeing when it comes to him and Sean Payton. They're starting to see the past and the success that Sean Payton had with Drew Brees. So I'm high on Bo Nix. I could be completely wrong, but I'm very high on him, especially in the fantasy season. Another lame, we could talk about this for a while, right? But I mean, we could probably go through every team, but I think, for me, another lame that I'm going to have this year that a lot of people are high on is a team that you're high on. They were a flame for you, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. It's for me, look, when you're talking about the Cardinals and whether or not Kyler Murray can stay healthy, I don't even know if it's whether or not Kyler Murray can stay healthy. I wonder if it's whether or not he can stay off of Call of Duty after it's released. That's what I worry about. But I also look at their schedule as well, right? And their schedule is kind of poised to where they can start out hot and then finish very, very, very weak. They could be one of those teams that could be 7-1 and then end up missing the playoffs because of the way that Kyler Murray is in the second half. I'm not high on the coaching staff there. I don't think that they are built for a long run. And for me, again, Call of Duty comes out October 19th this year. So we're going to see, because on October 19th, they play the Green Bay Packers, and then on November 3rd, they play the Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to find out whether or not the Call of Duty release thing is a true thing.
Yeah, we'll find out, dude. I feel like he's going to be extra motivated. Hell, I'll probably bet his passing yards over because everybody's going to be talking about that with Call of Duty coming out and Green Bay on tap. It's still scoreless right now out in Seattle, 4:42 to go in the first quarter. We probably have seen the last of Ashton Genty tonight after just 2 carries. Geno Smith only played 1 series as well. So, yeah, my Flames teams or players I'm buying low on. Arizona, plus 150 to make the playoffs, over 8.5 wins. Trevor Lawrence, over 21.5 touchdown passes. The Jags, over 7.5 wins, and a small little bet on them to win the South. And then Caleb Williams. My lames, Bo Nix, the Rams and the Lions, and Baker Mayfield. I was trying to think of one more lame. You know what? I want to go with the flame lame, little side piece here. I saw Cowherd talking about this again today, and now I want to bet all the money in the world on Mahomes to win MVP and the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I saw a clip on social media during the last commercial break that said, it's Cowherd quoting, saying, I think the run is over. The dynasty is over. You know what that means. More bulletin board material for Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, and Pat Mahomes. I mean, that offense, dude, if Rashee Rice can stay healthy and out of trouble, number 1 wide receiver. Hollywood Brown, number 2 wide receiver. Kelsey doesn't really have to be Kelsey anymore, right? And I think Pacheco is going to have a huge bounce back year if he can stay healthy. I don't have much expectation from Kareem Hunt at 55 years old, but Pacheco, another year removed from that injury. I know he didn't really have that explosiveness when he came back last year. I think he's going to have a solid season. So the more I hear people fade and rip the Chiefs this offseason, my only issue with the Chiefs, dude, it's not the defense, it's not Mahomes, it's can the offensive line protect Pat Mahomes? Because that's why they got their asses kicked in that Super Bowl. Yeah. He was getting suplexed all over the field. But if they could protect Pat Mahomes, I think he's going to throw 40 touchdowns. Last year was a down year. I think he's going to ball out. We got radio hosts calling him fat.
If Cowherd's saying it's over, you go mortgage the house and you go put it on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl as well. Let me throw this one out real quick. We got about 40 seconds left. Flame or lame, Jordan Love?
I lean flame, dude, just because of the weapons, right? I worry a little bit about the decision-making, the interceptions, but the offensive line should be improved. He should be healthy, and I love the Matthew Golden pick, right? And Christian Watson should be back, by week 12. You have Jaden Reed, who should take that year 3 leap, hopefully. And you have Romeo Doubs and Dontavian Wicks and Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. Yeah. And Josh Jacobs. I think flame. We'll take a quick break. We'll talk a little college football. Top 5 teams that are flying under the radar to make the playoff when we wrap up the show.
Don't miss out on the action. If you missed the show, you can listen back on the always free Odyssey app. It's BetMGM Tonight, presented by BetMGM.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
I
just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be...
Everything comes down to how you finish. And the wall covering, drywall finishing, signage, glass systems, and painting contractors at finishingchicago.com always produce a hit. Chicago's top general contractors and property managers rely on Finishing Chicago's industrial and commercial contractors to provide the most well-trained, safety-focused, and reliable crews. Before starting work on your next job site, check out their website, finishingchicago.com, your free resource to find quality finishing contractors.
Proud partner of Cubs Radio.
Love breaking a sweat for a good cause? Join Northern Illinois Food Bank on August 18th for golf or pickleball. Presented by Old Second National Bank. All proceeds of the event will benefit Northern Illinois Food Bank. So, no matter your skill level, you can help neighbors get the food they need to thrive. Visit solvehungertoday.org/events to register. That's solvehungertoday.org/events. Let's smash hunger together. Northern Illinois Food Bank. Neighbors empowered.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today, 630-360-9000. That's 630-360-9000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Please gamble responsibly. Let's get back to the madness. It's BetMGM Tonight After Dark with Ryan Horvat.
BetMGM Tonight After Dark, wrapping up the show. Ryan Horvat with you here on the BetMGM Network, where you can find the show Monday through Friday, 7 to 11 p.m. Eastern. You could also download the BetMGM Tonight podcast wherever you find your podcasts. Listen to the show and all of our shows here on the BetMGM Network live anywhere with the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. It's preseason, but Seattle's up 7-0 on the Raiders. 39 seconds to go in the first quarter. And that's all we really have going down tonight here on BetMGM Tonight. You could get in on the excitement at BetMGM with any sport. They got no sweat tokens. And if you don't win your wager, you get a stake back and bonus bets, which is always great. And if you haven't done so, make sure to download the BetMGM app. All right, we talked a ton of NFL Flames and Lames for the upcoming season. We've done power rankings, top 10 quarterbacks. Let's do a little college football because we're only 15 days away from the start of the season. And we're going to talk 5 college football sleepers. I don't know if these are my top 5, but I feel like, these are teams that not everybody's talking about. Let's start at number 5. A team that I'm pretty high on is Pitt. I'm not the biggest Pat Narduzzi guy as a head coach, but I do like what they're doing at Pitt. On the offensive side of the ball, man, I really like their running back, Desmond Reed. Last year was all ACC first team, finished with 966 rushing yards, 579 receiving yards. I think those numbers go up. And then I think he's going to be a first, second round draft pick next year. Desmond Reed is going to be a stud on Sundays and at Pitt again next year. Again, 966 rushing yards last year, 579 receiving yards. They have a veteran offensive line with a ton of experience, and Eli Holstein's back at quarterback. Last year was only a freshman, and as a freshman, 2,228 passing yards, 328 yards on the ground, 20 total touchdowns, and now it's year 2 in the Cade Bell offense. And that was Pitt's issue 2 years ago. They were 116th in the nation in scoring offense. Last year, with Cade Bell taking over as the play caller, they moved all the way up to 31st. They went from 3 wins to 7 wins. And now this year they bring back 7 starters on the offensive side of the ball and 7 on the defensive side of the ball. Kenny Johnson's back at wide receiver. Raphael Poppy Williams is back at wide receiver. Also a great name. They combined for almost 1,000 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns last year. The issue was the defense. They got off to a hot start. They were 7-0, and then they gave up 48 points, 37 points, 34 points, and 48 points. And they lost 4 of their last 6 games. Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator, has to feel the heat after that collapse. But I like Pitt at least to win 8 games. The schedule's a little tough. On the road against Florida State, on the road against Syracuse, you get NC State, on the road against Stanford, which should be a win. Their win total's 3.5. Then it's Notre Dame at Georgia Tech and Miami. So tough way to close out the year. We just need 8 wins for Pitt. And let's say they do pull off a couple upsets, man. Maybe they're the dark horse college football playoff contender. Like a couple years ago, nobody saw TCU making that run or Washington. So I'm just saying, I like Pitt a little bit more than most. In the Big 12, my pick is Kansas State. I also bet Avery Johnson at 50-1 to win the Heisman. But I do think there's good value betting on some of these other teams. Every year, granted it was in the Pac-12, I would make the case for Utah. Really tough place to play. I'm a big Kyle Whittingham fan. Hard not to be. He's been there forever. And pretty much every year, they're guaranteed at least 8 wins. Now, last year I was wrong because it was a mess of a season. Finally, though, they have moved on from the Cam Rising situation. He was 45 years old playing quarterback there, and he kept getting hurt. But I like Utah, man. It's year 21 for Kyle Whittingham. He's got 167 wins, only 86 losses in those 21 years. Last year was their first losing season since 2013, so you expect a bounce back. They had a 7-game losing streak to end the season. They only went 5-7, but they bring in a new quarterback in Devin Dampier, who's a transfer from New Mexico. He's the only quarterback in New Mexico school history to be named All Mountain West first team. They bring his offensive coordinator over in Jason Beck. Together, Dampier passed for 2,768 yards and ran for 1,166. If he does get hurt, Isaac Wilson, Zach Wilson's little brother, is the backup. Played a ton last year. Has to limit the turnovers. He had 11 picks, did have 10 touchdowns. They bring in 5 transfers who are expected to play right away. Washington State running back Wayshawn Parker, who rushed for 768 yards as a freshman. Bentley's back at the tight end position. 3 new wide receivers. All 5 starters back on the offensive line. And even last year, when they had a 7-game losing streak and finished 5-7, they were a top 25 defense. They only gave up 20 points per game. They should be better this season. They got 4 starters coming back. Jonathan Hall's back. Fano's back. Together, they combined for 73 tackles and 3.5 sacks. And since replacing Urban Meyer in 2005, Kyle Whittingham's had 3 losing seasons. So as long as Devin Dampier can make the transition from the Mountain West to the Big 12, I think they go over their win total. And I think they got a legit shot to win the conference and make the college football playoff, man. On the road against UCLA to kick off the season in non-con. Then they get Cal Poly. On the road against Wyoming. They get Kansas State, who I like to win the Big